There we go. Do be live.
Hello, good evening.
Hello. Yep.
Hello.
Hi.
We're
Hello.
going to be starting down a player, but probably have that extra player in due time. But we're back after a brutal slog of fighting off effectively 100 assassins. Boy, that was one heck of a several sessions.
Woo.
But yeah, you guys did it. You've survived, and now you get to, for the most part, relax. Pretty much the last session, you guys sought out and tried to help save this lost shapeshifter child named Fawn, who pretty much was a stowaway on a ship run by a bunch of knights from the Order of the Blue Rose. And yeah, you pretty much scrounged around looking for this kid, from the high places to the lower places, mostly lower places, such as the guts. And
Yeah, we didn't really look in many high places.
more so the low places, which is fair. And after that, you had found, well, not the kid, but you found the captain, who, well, was more than concerned to finding this kid, and through some investigation and through some clever thinking, you were actually able to reach out and contact Fawn through a sending spell. Find out that he was in the care of none other than, I suppose I would say a friend, Ryuji, the half-orc samurai, and was then met up with him, to where you were then, well, caught up in a very, very dangerous and interesting trap that was set by the assassins and the syndicate, to which you guys had to spend the better part of like 2 or 3 sessions fighting off an army of assassins. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, your final clash, you managed to make it, only to be volunteered, I should say, by one of the most dangerous men in Broznov, the Duke of Havoc, who's one of the leaders of the syndicate.
We're toast. We're so toast. It's Jover. It's time to change our name, change our face, move out of the city. Goodbye, Broznov.
Dang. If it were possible to escape, as it were.
Yeah, well, we have to change our faces before we leave. And then it's still gonna be kind of tricky.
Yeah. Syndicate's kind of everywhere, unlike the other major crime groups. And, well, as you know, the Syndicate is the single-handed strongest gang in Broznov.
One day, Corey's just gonna walk into the ocean and he's never gonna come back.
Get picked up by, like, syndicate guys in scuba outfits. Just like, no, you come back.
It's like, good luck, buddy. I'm gonna walk on the bottom. You can find me there.
In any case, yeah. So, after a very, very grueling series of adventures, you have all returned home. Not so much at the instruction of the Duke himself, who basically gave you guys a week and a half off
How kind.
I know. He's a very generous psychopath.
A week to get our affairs in order, draw up the wills, that kind of thing.
That kind of thing. So, yeah. Let me go ahead and change scenes real quick.
Not that they'll honor any of our last wishes, of course not, but
I mean, they might.
the illusion of choice.
They might. I mean, the syndicate is mostly fair.
I don't know, but mostly fair.
They're a big
Oh,
organization.
okay.
Some people.
And I'm just gonna say
they're-
no. That's fair, right? Bye. But yeah, shall I assume that we can take a long rest because Core has a point of exhaustion.
Have over a week off.
Hooray! I'm gonna take that long rest now. Recover my level of exhaustion, please.
Maybe if you're mortar, maybe you wouldn't have that exhaustion removed.
What? Why?
Mortar
Don't
in.
worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Oh,
Listen, Core is just the guy, and he needs his rolls to be not at disadvantage.
Hasn't stopped him.
but yeah.
You're right.
You've returned
Mordred
home.
is a silly bee.
He is.
Hooray! We've returned home.
You've returned home, exhausted and ready to relax for a little bit, and catch up on some much needed rest.
Yeah, Core just goes. He wants to go swimming, but he's so tired that he just goes directly to his room with the intention of like gonna put on his bathing suit and go up to the roof and soak for a little bit in our
Doesn't make
pool. But he doesn't make it. He just face plants on his little. Because I don't think he really has a bed. He just sort of has like a little, you know, like on the ground. He just has a little spread. He just face plants. Funk.
It looks similar.
You know, it's good for your back.
Should
to
get
sleep
sorted in the morning.
on the hardwood floor. Yeah, just passes out. He wanted to take a dip. He just passes out. He's exhausted.
Dang.
Yep.
He like curls up like a cat and goes to sleep.
Oh, cute.
Say that to her face, I dare you.
I mean, Core would. What does Akira do when we get home? Right after all that fighting?
Neat.
Snoozing.
Everyone be snoozing.
Where does Akira sleep? In her room? In the pool?
just right on the floor. Literally
Oh,
comes
in
home
the-
and just
Like literally, we've just gotten home. We've read that horrible letter that got left on our doorstep, and you just faceplant in the walkway.
Yep.
Oh.
I took over 200 damage. I deserve that much.
Understandable.
You know, I don't think in all of that Core ever healed himself a single time. I had 11 hit points at the end. It was getting a little dire.
It was
It
dire
was-
for us in general.
It was interesting.
Guess we gotta step around. to take care
Yeah.
of them.
We gotta. Core tries to be quiet, but not only does he have disadvantage on stealth, he's got super disadvantage because he's exhausted. So
I don't know if you don't like try to like carefully stumble your way through.
I'll just walk around Akira as best I can and go upstairs to my room.
I'm sure Taylor's able to. She's pretty adroit.
Dexterity, of course, dexterity is not bad, but he's got armor on and disadvantage on all his rolls. So
Oh. Pain.
Fair enough.
but you know what? I think Akira is so asleep. She's like the dead at the moment. Just
Yeah.
she's out cold.
The kind of sleep
She'll be
that
up
you're
in
not
12
sure if
hours.
you can call like the paramedics.
Of course, like, oh no, call a healer. Wait, I'm the healer.
I'm the healer.
Ah, they're just knocked out.
Yeah.
She snores. It's fine. I can hear her snoring.
Ah,
Is she breathing? Yes. Alright, she's probably fine.
What kind? Wait, do you have dragon breath, right? What kind of element is your dragon breath?
Acid.
Oh, so there's just like little acid bubbles as you snore.
black dragon.
We're gonna have to repair that floor. You're a black. Wait, for some reason I thought you
Yep.
were red dragon.
Nope. Black dragon. The
Oops.
entire time.
Oops. Oopsie.
Yes, indeed.
I go pass out. I need a long rest before I do any other relaxing. I can't relax until I'm relaxed, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I stress out about relaxing enough, sooner or later it'll happen.
Ah, I think, right? That's how it works.
Something like that. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, she
More
wants
stuff to do in the morning, but yeah. Let's have a
Oh,
nice
yeah.
long...
Taylor's got work to do. We used up all of Taylor's stuff.
Yeah.
Sorry.
She needs... No, that's okay, that's why. They're like spell slots they're like spell slots I have to pay money for.
That's true. Well, you know, if you ever need Core's help, let him know. He's more than happy to help you grow materials or whatever.
Probably some that might be like that. Depending on what it will be making. I have some ideas of what I want to make, but
Oh, nice. So we wake up in the morning,
Yep.
sort of refreshed. It's sort of like that thing where, like, you wake up and you do feel better, but you still feel a little lethargic. I don't have any more points of exhaustion, but spiritually and mentally, Core is still exhausted.
oh, hot peppers. He can help Taylor grow some hot peppers.
Ah, yes, hot
Peppers.
peppers. Let's grow those on our roof.
You got that rooftop garden next to the pool.
We do.
What are the spells I want to make into a thing? We'll use hot peppers.
I'm gonna put that in my notes. Taylor needs hot peppers.
Taylor needs hot peppers.
What else do I need? Those would be useful.
Yeah, but I guess first things first, Core'd like to go for a swim.
Legume seed? Legume? I don't know.
Oh,
what they're not
legumes!
seeds.
Green beans? Green beans?
Is that what those are?
Legumes. Legume? Legumes?
Legumes.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are green, like green beans or peas.
Okay. Yeah. She'll
Now we
need
can-
some of those seeds.
We can grow beans?
Bean?
Beans!
Beans.
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 Yeah, well, maybe you want to... Does Taylor have to go
Some of the-
shopping?
She'll have to do some shopping, yeah.
Well,
Getting
when you go
supplies
shopping,
that
have
can't be
Core
grown.
come with you, and we'll buy the seeds and stuff we need to grow. Easy.
Okay. Some of these will be used for the plan that she has for that wrist-mounted hand crossbow she picked up.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
That
She
I
has
chewed off the arm
plan.
for you, at least.
Thank you. I'm so glad.
Arm
I
and
appreciate
crossbow.
it. It'll kind of be turned into a gun. What else? Added rhubarb leaf.
Ooh,
Be
rhubarb?
nice. Oh, yeah. rhubarbs, but I need to powder up the leaves.
Okay, I'm adding it to the list. Oh my god, Core is so excited. He's like, we can grow all of this! And then we can make pie! You just need the leaves. Oh, shall we go, shopping?
Rose petals. We can
As
make some
you-
roses.
Rose petals?
As you do your maintenance on the rooftop, you do hear knocking at your door.
Yeah, we'll say Taylor is writing a list down for Core, and Core is preparing space in the garden very excitedly. Like, yes, 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 we're gonna grow so much stuff. We need to move the pots over here. We gotta move this here. We need to put up posts for the green beans.
And then we're interrupted by knocking.
I knock, and you're like, ah.
Yep.
Never at this
Still,
time.
still asleep in front of the door. Good luck,
Oh,
everyone.
yeah.
It is.
Oh.
Akira's gonna be asleep probably for the next 2 days.
But yeah,
We will
door's
leave that.
knocking while you guys are doing a little bit of R&R.
The Lancer. The Lancer specifically. I don't know
Yeah,
if Cora
Core's
wants to be
upstairs.
around.
You'll have to shout for him. You can hear him because, like, I assume that we just sort of leave like all the doors open, so you can hear him sort of like rummaging around up on the roof, reorganizing things. Every once in a while, he'll like call down and ask you, like, "What else do you need? I'll prepare."
So Taylor, you answer.
Yeah.
Well, at the door, you find Tessa.
Oh.
Yeah, it's your neighbor from across the street. You know, the one with the crazy experiments.
Yeah. Hi. Good day.
Tessa kind of gives you a sheepish smile, and you see that in her hands she's holding kind of like sort of like a little packaged up some kind of like kitchenware. Looks to be like a big pot of something, and she says, "Hey, saw you guys popping in the other day, and hadn't heard from you guys in a little while, and well, tell you guys I guess you were busy with whatever you're doing, and I figured I might, prepare a little something for you guys. Maybe after a hard day's work of whatever you guys were up to." And she has like a whole little thing of she prepped basically curry for you guys.
Oh, how nice.
Just asleep.
Don't mind the Dragonborn. She's tired, I guess.
We would have rolled her over into one of the corners, but none of us are strong enough.
Tessa kind of just like barely leans to look over your shoulder and sees Akira just knocked out on the floor. Kind of gives a very
I don't
like
think my
quizzical look, and it's just like,
I don't think my +1 strength is gonna do it.
Depends on how much Akira weighs. I might better push her
You know
over, but
Hold on. I'm curious now.
But that's
Fucking,
like the-
What her height? It's like
she's
6'7" or
she's
something
like-
stupidly tall.
I don't think Taylor's gonna be able to lift her. Push, maybe.
Yeah.
Push, I suppose
average-
maybe.
Probably drag. but that
Dragon
probably
Boars-
wouldn't
Dragon Boar's
pleasant
averages
either.
about 250 pounds. Good luck, everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
Definitely can't lift.
I mean, if the
Ayla's
two of us
over-encumbered
try it
limit
together,
Is
maybe we could.
225.
Maybe we could try it if we work together.
The push
could
limit
do
is
it.
450. So
Oh,
like,
my push.
yeah.
Oh, actually, course push limit is 390. If
Oh,
I'm
maybe
reading
combine.
D&D Beyond correctly.
Yeah.
Maybe with the combined effort, you guys can roll Akira somewhere a little more comfortable.
You just roll her like 3 times so she's not in the way.
Yeah.
I imagine you probably roll her just enough so that there's at least like a good clearing for you guys to get in and out
Yeah,
of the
and
building.
Cora will tuck her in with a little blanket, sneak a little pillow under her head.
The mouse is just like, or the rat's just resting on her head.
Yeah, and just kind of like turns over whenever you turn her over.
Also judges in its sleep.
Yes.
Even if it's in its sleep, it looks judgmental.
But yeah, Tessa, curry.
Yes, she's made curry.
Yeah.
Yum.
And then she also produces a little packet with like, baggies of tea. And says, a little something for you guys.
We appreciate it.
Good to see you guys are
Okay.
still doing well. Like I said, we didn't really see or hear much from you guys for a little while, and well, I tend to worry a little bit.
Not used to that, but thanks.
Yeah, I think Cora at this point would come downstairs. His face is kind of streaked with dirt. His hands are dirty. He's coming down to wash up. He's just like sort of talking absentmindedly as he goes down the steps. He's like, all right, Taylor, I moved around some of the pots. I think we're going to have lots of room. Oh, Miss Tessa. Good morning? Good afternoon? Did we oversleep? Hello. It's nice to see you again.
She smiles and waves and is like, hey, glad to see you guys are back.
Was it that long? I could have sworn it was... Honestly, I really lose track of time in this city. It's been a couple of years, but I'm still not used to it.
Yeah.
I don't think we were gone for that long. Were we gone for that long? I look at Taylor like, help. What's the passage of time here? I don't understand.
Player doesn't know. Kayla might.
I think, given the length of the session, you guys probably were an entire Broznov day out. I'm gonna say that you guys were for like the entirety of the Broznov daytime, because you guys caught the nighttime lights kind of kicking in, if I recall correctly. It's actually Broznov night right now. So,
Poor
2.5
Cor.
days.
Okay.
Poor Cor he is still so accustomed to the normal cycle of sun and moon that he is just always perpetually confused about what time it is. He's like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it's a
Well-
very frustrating
Poor
affair.
guy.
Tessa is also just like, yeah, I still haven't gotten used to it either. I've been here for years.
It is very strange, but practical, I suppose. Well, what brings you around other than just missing these oddballs?
Well, my work's been in a bit of a lull, and well, I saw that you guys had been back, and since I had some spare time, I just figured I'd cook something nice for you guys. A little something as a welcome back.
Oh, thank you very much. I certainly appreciate it. Oh god, I'm starving, honestly. You know that thing where you go out and you swear you're gonna pick up food on your way back, but then you come back and you forgot and you realize you have no food? It's just the worst.
Yeah.
So basically, we ate crackers for dinner last night.
It's like, well,
I mean, technically Akira ate, but we don't go
True.
into
you didn't eat
that.
proper.
Fair.
You had snacks.
I had 2 arms. and
2
snacks.
arms. It's basically girl dinner.
Yep. Oh my
Basically,
god.
Severed arms, girl dinner.
Yeah, we need to go grocery shopping, but we're out of the house so often it's hard to keep stocked up.
well, hopefully this will at least hold you over for the time being.
That's true, and with Akira asleep, the rest of us might actually get some.
Oh, well, if anything, I can always make
He does
something
eat a
for you
lot.
guys.
She does
I,
eat a lot.
I don't have a huge appetite.
She's a growing girl. What can I say?
That's true. Growing up every day. When will she be 7 feet tall?
Please.
Oh, Lord.
7 feet. When will she be 20?
Keep going.
20.
A giant Akira.
Well, shall I? Oh, you know what? Let me go wash my hands. Sorry, I'm a bit of a mess. We had a busy couple days, but I'm always the type to keep busy, so we'll just keep going.
Oh, well, you don't have to worry about much with this. It's all cooked and ready. And
Oh, I know, but I should serve up, and no one wants this. And he'll sort of show his dirty, soily hands. No one wants this in their lunch. I'm gonna go wash up. So yeah, he'll go wash up.
True.
Scrub his face.
Fair enough. In any case, I hope you guys like it. It's not really a special recipe or anything, but it's something I picked up from some of the merchants around here.
That's good.
It does smell good. Come back in. What kind of curry is it?
Yeah, I would say it's like it is a spicy curry. It's a spicy curry with a bit of I would say it's a bit of beef on it.
Ooh. Akira's gonna be happy.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of carrots to it.
Ooh. Cora loves carrots.
It's
But yeah, I'll dish up 2 bowls and then I'll look at Tessa. Do you want a bowl? Seiza's still passed out upstairs. Akira's still passed out down here.
It's for you guys. Please, I
Are you
insist.
sure? You don't want to join us for lunch?
She's kind of hesitant, but then she's like, "No, this is for you guys. It's I've got plenty at home."
If you're sure. Cora's still picking up a 3rd bowl and start almost looking at her, just like, are you sure?
You can persuade her.
True. I will try. We need to talk to some other people. Our social skills are so bad right now. We need to branch out.
Well, so far everyone you've spoken with are in some way problematic or
We need a
else.
normal friend in our lives. Ooh, that's a 16. 18!
Well, despite her insisting and saying no, she doesn't make any efforts outside of just saying no. Eventually, you do push a bowl into her hands, and she accepts that she will be eating with you guys.
Yes! We did it, Taylor. It was a team effort.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
just
Tessa comes
we'll
on
just
in
encourage her to. Yeah, we'll
joins
bring
you
her
guys.
inside. I'm sure we got I imagine that our furniture situation is kind of, I would call it eclectic. We have a lot of clashing styles going on, but somehow we make it work, Half of the
Yeah,
furniture
that's
is just
true.
shit that Akira picked up off the street somewhere, and we don't question where she got it from. We're just like, oh, cool, a new chair.
There's an entire,
Sure.
like, alchemical and gunsmithing workshop crammed into, a
Yeah.
section of the
It's
house.
eclectic, but you know what? In the weird way, it works. It works together. Chaotic harmony.
Yeah.
Chaotic harmony.
So we all pull up a chair, but it's it's not a set. So it's everyone has a different type of chair. It's that kind of vibe.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll have some lunch.
Especially for Ila and Akira.
Oh, true. And
Well,
we
outside
do
of
need some
norm.
specialized things. Dwarf-sized chair, dragonborn-sized chair. Oh, the small chair, the medium chair, the large chair.
All the chairs.
God damn it.
just Goldilocks. I guess Seiza can be Goldilocks.
Works for me.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that your work has been in a lull. Or though, maybe it's good. Maybe you can take a break. We're on a bit of a break ourselves, thankfully.
Well, break is nice, but I prefer to keep busy,
I'm the same way.
Things don't quite feel right when I'm like just sitting around, not much to do.
Have you considered getting a new hobby?
Well, I suppose what I do is also a hobby in sort of ways.
I'll just get another one. I don't know, knitting, candle making.
Well, I do have a project I am working on, but I've been
Oh,
in such a bit of a lull to get it done, so maybe I'll consider picking back up on it.
well, what kind of side project? I'm curious.
Oh,
By the way,
actually,
Core while he's eating has like a fourth bowl next to him. He's picking out all the pieces of beef and putting them in the other bowl to give to Akira when she wakes up, so that her serving of curry has extra beef. Because he's not super strictly vegetarian, but ever since he's met Akira, he kind of has a hard time eating meat. So like he's fine with the meat being cooked in the curry, but he doesn't really want to eat the beef. Plus, he knows it makes Akira happy, so it's sort of a win-win. Yeah, so what kind of side project are you working on?
Right, the side project. So, actually, I have something in mind. It's not anything in particular that, is part of, not in any particular of, the research that I've been working on with my fiance, but, it's, well, it's a pair
Or
of,
makes a face at the mention of that guy. doesn't really like him. He's kind of an asshole.
it's a pair of utility gloves, actually. And,
Oh.
she explains, yeah, I have a pair of some utility gloves for, well, it's for a number of things. It's similar to the research gloves you've been working on, but, well, the research equipment is, well, it's a bit, I'm not too crazy about its uses, so I decided to put in some of my own modifications on a second set of gloves for myself.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's I actually have the idea of having it modular to make it fit any new ideas I might come up with. So some things I've already kind of come to mind is little is a little tow cable in case you need to like carry extra things together, so you can just wrap it all together and carry it off in one large package. And some other pieces, maybe perhaps work on that work on the well, the adhesive that holds on it, but unfortunately I can't really mess with that with the original design. As you guys recall, I think the experiment you guys had to do with was the gloves that were like super like stuck to the side of the wall.
Oh yeah. Cora's just nodding politely. He is interested, but he's not the most intelligent person, so it kind of goes over his head. But he tries to be polite and listen attentively.
Yeah.
While he picks at his food like a child.
Mostly Tessa's breakdown of her ideas is just like she wants to make a set of like a new set of gloves with other changes, because the set of gloves that they're making is like they're meant to like help enhance the strength of the user and do a bunch of like, it's more for like more labor tasks, but the pair that she wants to put together is more set for like other things. And obviously basically her breakdown is she doesn't like it doesn't seem like she likes the fact that her project that they've been working on is like very clearly she doesn't have a lot of say in what she wants and what these gloves, how they get to be made. Just do it like this and no changes, even though it's like some of these changes could make it better.
That's
And
rough.
she does kind of say that at the end. It's like a lot of the things that we're doing with our experiments. I mean, you work with what you've got, but sometimes they're really just awful ideas. I don't even want to finish the actual project, really.
Oh, that's really
wouldn't be able to-
unfortunate.
I couldn't be stifled like that.
Yeah, well, gotta pay the bills somehow.
I'm sure there's a way to pay the bills with the ideas that you'd actually like to try out.
Well, maybe if this gets knocked out soon enough, I can finish making my own set and just sell it as a side thing. I know a lot of tinkers like to just make a lot of side projects that they just sell to whomever. But I also worry that I don't want to sell this to somebody who might misuse it,
I'll admit, I immediately thought of ways I could misuse them.
Oh, goodness. Oh, you,
A
Taylor.
tow cable
Surely
and-
not. Surely not.
In my line of work, or I suppose what used to be my line of work. She shrugged.
Well, we have lots of little projects to do today, don't we, Taylor? Shopping and such.
True.
While the others sleep, I am Taylor's assistant.
Well, maybe sometime if there's a chance, maybe you guys can test it out for me when there's time. I still gotta work on these
Oh.
gloves, of course.
I'm sure the others would love that. And Taylor, of course.
Well, I did just say that I already thought of ways to make use of them.
She kind of turns like, as long as you're not misusing them, please.
Oh no, we never get into any sort of trouble ever.
I will certainly
said like
not
a liar.
misuse them.
He said not 24
He
hours
said like a
ago
liar.
conversing with one of the most wanted men in Broznov. You don't get involved with trouble.
Hey, to her credit, Taylor can actually lie.
In any case, Tessa does give a small smile to that, and then kind of like, finishes up eating her curry. She does ask though, what kind of work have you guys been doing? Can't imagine it's anything easy if it took as long. If you guys were out for that long, if you don't mind my asking.
Oh, we were just finding someone's missing dog. A lost puppy.
Lost puppy.
Yeah, very difficult to find in such a big city. Also, it was a pure breed, so once we found it, we kind of had to chase some guys away.
I see. She's kind of
But
like,
the important thing is, we got the puppy home, safe and sound.
well, that's good, I suppose. It's something good came of it. Still thinking just like puppy. Huh?
Akira looks at her. No, I'm kidding. That lie was so bad. Akira wakes up and looks at Core.
Bullshit.
Holy shit.
Well, Tessa has no real reason to doubt your explanation or
Why would you
look
ever
further into
doubt
it.
Core? He's such a sweet lad.
I mean,
And honestly, finding lost puppies really seems to be Core's vibe. He loves to garden. He loves to cook. He would be the type to spend 3 whole days looking for a missing dog.
true.
It's true.
But also, this is Broznov.
Yeah, She knows that Core is an oddity in Broznov. So.
I don't know what to tell you, man. We literally took a job from some dogs.
I mean,
That
true.
is actually true. So strange things.
I don't know what
things
you
do
want from
happen.
us.
I don't know. Looking for a lost
We
dog. The
we
issue
did
isn't
have
that
a
this isn't weird. It's the issue is this isn't weird enough.
That's true.
Oh, I see.
I mean, to be fair, I did say that we had to shake down some goons to get the puppy, so that's pretty Broznov.
Yeah. Okay,
Esque.
that would check. Yeah, that would check. Be like, okay, yeah. Bugging some sketchy individuals about a lost dog would check out for her. In any case, she doesn't doubt any of any of these lies.
That's good. She does not need to know the bullshit we actually got into.
Tessa doesn't know that she's next doors to somebody who's come to contact with syndicate members, Yakuza,
Yeah,
It's
definitely
best
we're
if
not
she doesn't
involved
know.
with the
or some of the
blackout
other,
that happened.
or some of the other gangs.
Yeah, let's keep that to ourselves.
I know. To be honest, there was sort of another reason why Core wanted her to come in, because he didn't want her to be standing on their doorstep for too long. There's definitely people watching our house. Well, we should probably get to business. Got a lot to do before these other two slackers wake up.
And I should probably go back to. Well, maybe I should get back to my project work. So. In any
Good
case,
luck.
Thanks for letting me join you guys for your meal.
No, it
should
was
be
great.
enough-
You should come over some other time. Yeah.
Maybe so. Maybe next time you come back on a job or something, I'll cook you guys something else.
Ooh.
I'll have some spare time
I'll-
here and there, so.
I'll look forward to it. It'll be good.
She has a big smile on that, and she heads on out and says, says her goodbyes, and goes back to her house.
As I'm like sort of standing in the doorway, waving to her, about to close the door, can I make a perception check real fast? I want to see if I can spot someone watching our house.
Percept away.
19.
19. Nope, you peer around and, no, there doesn't appear to be anybody around. Neither suspicious nor, non-suspicious.
Or just close the door and looks at Taylor. Oh, they're good. They're real good.
It's just like one that's replaced the coat hanger and is holding weird jackets.
Like, how? They're so... I couldn't see them at all. They're good. Yeah, just because I didn't see anything doesn't necessarily mean I believe that there's no one there. They're good. They're
With
real
a 19,
good.
it's probably safe to say that they're not around.
War's feeling a little paranoid, though. Maybe paranoid enough to not trust himself.
Understandable.
We can always check over the next week.
That's true.
It's hard to say if they're constantly watching or if they just check up on
That's
what
true.
might be happening.
It's hard to say. It's not really my expertise. I don't really know how this kind of thing works. Do they use magic for it? I think there's magic for that kind of thing, right? Or
There
do they
is,
just come like once an hour? I don't know.
Well, I'll be checking around the house for that.
Well, anyway, shall we go shopping? Or should we get Akira up?
Alright, well,
There is... We should wake her. We can let her sleep. If she wakes up while we're gone, then hopefully Seize is awake and she's not unsupervised. Also, if there is a magical sensor, there isn't much I think we can do about it, but at least we'll know it's there. And it might be useful for us to let whoever might be watching to know that we know they're there. Or there could be nothing.
I could think about. I'll try to brainstorm some ways. Maybe we could check our house for traps or something. I don't know.
Holds up a potion. Well, this should help some.
Oh, what does that do?
Detects magic.
You can do that.
Yes. I will also be making a potion to see invisible things.
That'll be handy.
It might.
I could do the opposite, which is I could make a thing inside of our house that we could look at. But I don't know why we would do that, other than maybe being suspicious that people are breaking in while we're gone.
That might have happened. Or it could happen in the future.
It's quite expensive. I mean, I already
In
bought
my
the components for it,
experience,
but...
I suppose that's that then.
Well, I think if we start to see more signs that someone has been breaking in, then perhaps we'll take measures to investigate.
Is it a temporary thing? Not a constant?
It can last for up to 10 minutes. So...
Oh, that's not very long at all.
No. I suspect the best use for it would be if one day we come home and we think there's someone in our house right as we're coming in.
Could be useful.
Yeah. Or, you know, on our next job maybe. I couldn't use it in our last job because one, it didn't make any sense, and two, I used up a lot of energy trying to contact Fawn. It's a 3rd level spell slot.
There might be some kind of device I can make to help in that regard as well.
Oh, you know,
Unless
I
if
could...
there's an intruder.
Oh, that only lasts for an hour. Yeah, I'm level 3 clerics. Or level 6 clerics. Yeah, magic circle only lasts for 1 hour. We'll think about it. I'm sure there's other things we can
Like
do.
checking through her notes on magical devices.
Core mentally trying to remember all the things they taught him in cleric school. Like, what was that spell? Well, shall we go shop? Shall we go shopping then? It sounds like you have lots of things you want to make, and I will help you grow them up on the roof.
Thank you. There is quite a bit. Well, I realized while Tessa was here, I will also need some mistletoe.
I'll add it to the list. You know, where I come from, you hang mistletoe as a sign that no violence can occur in that place. It is very sacred to the druids.
I don't think people here are going to follow that tradition.
That's unfortunate.
It
Well,
is.
shopping we go. I feed the rat a piece of beef and then we leave. To the shops.
Quite a bit of shopping. Is there anything else might be useful?
We got money, didn't we? Ooh, we got a lot of money.
We got a fair amount of money.
Who needs shit?
Quite a bit of money.
It was quite a bit of money.
By the way, DM, while the alchemy and magical device things isn't going to be too hard since I have like a basis for the cost of those, I do not have a basis for the cost of ammo.
Okay.
I don't know how much it will be to make bullets for my pistol. I will also get to what I'm going to turn that wrist mount into.
Okay. We can talk about that. As for bullets,
I have
purchasing
3.5 reloads. Still making them. I can make them.
Let's see what I can. I'll see what we can.
But
build
I
some
would
out
need to
with
buy like. I would need to buy lead, essentially lead and gunpowder. I need.
Let's see.
I also will probably want to try making some like special ammos using my alchemy.
Ooh, fancy.
Or making some kind of, well, actually I guess that'll be partly what my wrist mount will be doing, but I don't know. I want to start working on other guns too. It would be cool to have like a double barrel. That'd be pretty neat.
That would be cool.
I'll give me a bid for gunsmithing stuff.
Sure.
But I can get you pricings on some of the good stuff in a moment. Finding a provider
Good to me.
for bullets and stuff for weaponsmithing is going to be relatively easy here in Broznov.
Yeah.
Guns are guns and bullets, or at least the means to make them, are easy. It's the skills that are more difficult to acquire. And then after that,
Yeah.
other craftsmen, of course, sell their stuff too.
And I'm going to start thinking about what kind of what kind of guns Taylor might be looking to making in her spare time. I think a shotgun would be pretty handy.
Definitely need for this.
But for now, I just need bullets.
You could probably do bullets and I'd say maybe a pack of smoke powder, which is a component used to make the charge for rounds. Probably go for about 10 gold, and enough for a packet will probably get you about 7 bullets.
Okay. I want to make that.
Or you know what? Let's do 10 bullets for it. Just make it easy.
That sounds good. That sounds good to me.
So a packet comes in like a half pound. Unless you're making some real like high-powered bullets, you probably don't need that much smoke powder
No.
per shot.
Hey,
Unless you're making
How
like,
much-
like a fucking hand cannon.
what you said, a half pound, or was it a pound?
Half pound. Half pound is 10 gold.
Yeah, half
And
a,
that'll make
a
you-
half pound of gunpowder.
Yeah, that'll make you 10 bullets.
Sounds good to me. Need to arrange things on my.
But yeah, that will be very easy to
I will probably be
acquire.
buying more than 1/2 pound. I need, but yeah, that's
You could always buy a barrel.
oh my god, how much is the barrel?
Oh, no.
That might be a little harder to get, but it's gonna be about
Like,
300 gold for 20 pounds.
Oh my god, are you kidding me? Oh my god. No, sorry, I just read a joke.
Oh.
Sorry.
that's
Because
400
what?
bullet?
That's gonna be. I'm gonna, because I'm looking at a list
Go.
here, and I was like, something tells me this is like military grade, like as in only the only reason why you would have this is because you would have, you're part of the army, and therefore it's not allowed to be sold to just regular citizens.
I make use of smuggler contacts to try and get some definitely illegal gunpowder.
You will have to make an investigation to get in contact with someone who knows a guy, but I will allow it if you can meet the requirements.
Guidance, because you're probably gonna have disadvantage with core with you on any future persuasion checks, but guidance to find the person. Good luck doing this with core in the background, just looking around like a curious little guy.
Oh, and I can give it a shot. Because, assuming that my tired brain math correctly, yeah, that'd be like 400 bullets, which is definitely going to be enough for like this entire thing.
I hope
Yeah.
so.
One
Also, if we ever need a-
pound keg
if-
is, yeah.
God forbid we ever need a distraction.
Just roll a whole keg of smoke powder. By the way, I
Surprise!
believe there is stats on this thing.
Ooh, 21.
21.
Yeah.
You happen to know a contact who knows someone who may be willing.
I know a
to,
guy who knows a guy
Yeah.
who might know a guy.
You know a guy who might know a guy who might be able to make a keg of smoke powder appear.
Get
No
lost.
questions asked. Yeah. You know, inventory loss.
Yeah, it happens. You know,
It happens. Sometimes
it's a
you just
write-off,
lose
right?
It's a write-off. Sometimes a whole barrel of explosives goes missing. By the way, if that full barrel gets used as a weapon, that's 76 fire damage.
Only?
Boy.
Only? Wow, I would have thought more.
That's almost
I mean,
a fireball.
makes sense.
Yeah, it's less than fireball. That's why I'm like, only. What if you used a fireball to explode it? Does that do you get both?
Yeah, actually.
I mean, you might. You probably would.
Woohoo! Too bad none of us can cast fireball.
I mean, I think this is like black powder, which isn't. I mean, it's explosive, but it's not like modern gunpowder.
Smoke powder is basically D&D's equivalent to just black powder.
It's more of a flash and smoke rather than like a bang. Not that you want to be around an exploding gunpowder like black powder barrel. That would not be very enjoyable. That would ruin your day, to put it lightly. You said 300 gold for that, though, by the way?
It is 300. However, you'll probably have to, after convincing this contact to purchase it, you may have to haggle it down to 300. But you happen to know that on hand, a 20-pound barrel of smoke powder will typically go for about 300 gold. 300 gold fireball.
Damn, that's an expensive spell. I say as a cleric. With very expensive spells.
I think about if there's a way I can use deception for this instead of persuasion. Try and convince him. I promise, officer, I'm definitely not going to do anything
Nothing
illegal with it. I'm not using this illegal barrel of gunpowder for anything illegal, I promise. Right, somehow I don't think that'll fly with smugglers who are,
They're like, what? You're not doing something illegal. Gross. Go away. You can't have this. You
Okay,
better
well-
be doing something hella illegal.
Okay, well, you might be doing some illegal stuff, but it's probably not the kind of stuff that would require, an entire barrel of smoke powder. But
I
it's
can
necessary
committing
for
arson.
other things. It's for home improvement.
I mean,
Only
Kayla is a dwarf, so in theory, yeah. You're like, yeah, I gotta I gotta explode some tunnels.
The sulfuric
Honestly,
smell of metals and the combined with the rustic look of a barrel that goes perfectly in any dwarven home.
Actually, you know what? No, there might be something I can do with that.
I gotta blow up a tunnel.
Kind of
I'm a dwarf.
less of a. It's less convincing them that I'm doing good things with this, and more of like appealing to their compassion, I guess. There's something I can do here. I just need to think of the right phrasing.
Oh, hydrant. Also hello,
Partially from
Slurp, slurp.
partially from experience. Yeah. But no, it needs. Need to think. Although to be honest, if I can at least get this under 400 gold, it'll be worth it. Because then it'll still be less than
Are you
buying
gonna go
all those.
YouTube meeting with the
Wait,
contact?
hang on a second. Yeah, I definitely do want to try and get this barrel because, I mean,
Okay.
if
Yeah.
nothing else, because it's funny.
Well, your contact does direct you to another contact. The contact in question happens to be someone who is they were a military officer, a retired military officer, and
Okay.
they managed to, through some means of their own, they have some some war memorabilia. One of which being a still usable 20-pound keg. The guy happens to just have like an armory of just old war stuff, essentially.
And that's my barrel of gunpowder.
He's got a bunch of other stuff. Like he's calling him a collector is, I would say, it's somewhat accurate. He's a collector of war stuff, and yeah.
It's like that couple in the UK who recently had their home invaded because like for literally decades they had like an unexploded World War II like missile head just in their garden as a decoration.
Oh God. He had a
I did not
warhead.
hear about that.
And they're just like, oh yeah, we thought it was inactive. Like the wife would literally like tap her shovel on it to like get the dirt off
Oh my
the
God.
whole time, and it was actually like an active bomb the entire time.
I think it wasn't live
That's-
or armed.
Yeah, but it could have exploded somehow. It was like,
I mean, that just means the arming system isn't working. That doesn't mean that the ordnance inside isn't
yeah.
able to be exploded.
Yeah,
That
apparently
stuff
they
can
were,
deteriorate.
they were quite sad when they took it away. They're like, it was like our lawn gnome. It's like, hello? That's a bomb.
That's literally a live bomb.
Just goes back to the tactical nuclear warhead gnome.
The tac nuke gnome.
Tell me what to do here, Taylor, and I'll do it. Otherwise, I'm just gonna stand here and look pretty.
Yeah. So. you
Oh, I
got
just
this,
need to talk to him.
You've got this contact. This is definitely a retired old dude. While he might be retired, guy in his late 60s kind of look. He still has that like fierce officer's like stern scowl. When you go and you meet with him, it's very easy to tell. Like this dude is like. This is the kind of, this is definitely the kind of guy that people do not want to like mess with. But he has that like very stern. Like this is a guy who's spent like a good chunk of his years yelling at soldiers and fighting on a battlefield. Like he was a career officer.
Yeah. Okay. So you're the guy that's selling the barrel of smoke powder?
Might be.
Someone who's looking to buy a barrel of smoke powder. Did come by recommendation.
The man, I'm gonna go with human for this, by the way. The man sizes you up and kind of looks at you for a moment, looks over at Core, and is like, "What you use this stuff for?"
Officially, mining. Unofficially, it's to help with cave-ins. Sometimes there isn't really enough to go around if something bad happens.
Core does his best to look really distraught, like in those commercials about the children of war. He just looks like really sad, like, oh my god. How many have we lost this month to cave-ins alone?
There's only so much pickaxes and shovels can do when, tons of rock come down. People are trapped.
Does this miners guild
Small-
can't provide smoke powder to their own workers? Bah, useless.
Not
perception,
always.
Roll deception.
I'm gonna pat a gentle hand on Taylor's shoulder, try to reassure her in her moment of desperation and cast guidance. Sort of like
19.
stifle a little sob. Try to hide
19.
casting a spell.
A good thing he looked good online, because a roll on its own wasn't that great. Luckily, expertise.
Woohoo!
In typical old war vet fashion, he grumbles a moment and relents and says, "Fine. 600 for the barrel."
Oh, I know these can go for. I know these can go for as low as 300.
300 is if you were military. You ain't military. He kind of gives that sort of like, this is very much like a drill instructor, like doing his glare first at you and then glares over at Core.
That's true enough. How about 400?
450. Oh wait, before I counter offers, roll a persuasion.
Guidance.
Guidance.
Not bad. 23.
23. Fine, 400. You roll high enough.
Oh yeah. I will happily take that for 400.
Alright, wait here. He goes and he hobbles out with a little cart, and lo and behold, there is a military grade barrel of smoke powder.
Hell yeah, dude.
He says, "This better not come back to me if you decide to go and play fireworks out of this thing, or something worse."
Oh, don't worry. I'll make sure no one that doesn't know how to handle it will get their hands on it.
And he acknowledges that with a harumph and accepts his payment.
Let me add this into my stuff.
Ooh.
Congratulations, you are basically set for a long while with
Yeah.
ammunition.
How heavy is this barrel?
20 pounds.
20 pounds.
Only 20 pounds. I would have thought more.
I don't think this is like a.
Oh, I was
massive,
thinking like I was
beer
thinking one of
keg.
those big barrels. Yeah, like the type they make.
I don't think it's quite that big. But this is still like.
Oh, it's like
Come
I'm trying to see what's a good reference for like a 20-pound barrel. Nah, this thing actually probably wouldn't even. I mean, it's an old man, so it probably would still cart it.
It's a 20-pound barrel. Doesn't look like.
That's a 20-gallon barrel. I'm looking for a 20-pound barrel. tells me it's probably gonna be like... Whole powder barrel. It doesn't tell me how much this
Like
barrel
a-
is.
It's like three gallons. About 3
Oh,
gallons.
so it's small. A small barrel.
It's small, but this is a 3 gallon barrel. A picture of a 3 gallon barrel.
Oh, yeah.
I was actually looking at. I just jumped to that one. Yeah, it's small. It's still big
Yeah.
for him too big for him because he's an old man.
That's still 20 pounds of gunpowder.
And it's still 20 pounds of gunpowder.
You know, that makes that somehow feels appropriate for a fireball size. Like, yeah, that sounds about right. That exploding? Yeah.
You should
It's
say
like,
to us, like, carry this home.
It'd be
What?
like carrying a small child, like a toddler.
Yeah.
Oh, Core has
A
so much
an
experience
explosive
with that.
toddler.
Is it safe for us to keep this in the house, Taylor?
I lock it up.
It smells bad.
You haven't been to my workshop much, have you?
Well, I mean, it's downstairs. No offense, but it does kind of smell bad.
Yeah, I don't smell much anymore.
Oh,
All the
that's unfortunate.
metal and well, not so much gunpowder. Metal and alchemy supplies do a lot to make it difficult to smell things for a few days after I get through working in there.
Damn, because I was going to tell you should smell the roses we're about to plant, but, maybe not.
I might be able to smell them. I should do it while I can, I suppose. Once I get going, I won't really be able to.
Well, it will take some time for them to grow, after all.
Well, one day, if circumstances line up.
Yeah. Well, shall we head back?
Yes. Yeah.
I assume that we
have
picked up the
much to
seeds
do.
and stuff that we needed while we were shopping. How much for the seeds?
For the seeds. How many seeds you get?
We are getting... What's our list? Let's see. We need hot peppers, legumes, rhubarb, rose, and mistletoe. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 types of seeds?
Usually, if we want to be nitty gritty about it, then it might actually be useful to know that, because if I can cut some of the cost for making my potions and alchemy devices,
True, does it
because
list,
we're
like,
growing
how
our own
much...
stuff instead of buying,
Yeah, does it list
Well,
how
no,
much?
it doesn't
No,
really.
it doesn't.
because it's based off of the like quality, right?
Mm.
'Cause I'm basically making like I'm using Xanathar's as a guide for like spell scrolls as a kind
Oh,
of
I see.
basis.
And it
That's
wants,
kind
like,
of what I'm doing.
It wants what?
There isn't really
high quality
a potion.
ingredients? Is that how it works?
Well, I mean, there's just a flat cost, so it's
Oh,
like,
okay.
yeah. I mean, because there's other stuff that goes into it instead of just those ingredients, because I need to make it into like a, a fluid and such.
I think for a mixture of those seeds, you can get like about a pound of seeds, which would probably cost you about, let's say, 20 gold.
Pay
For
for it.
flavor, it's fine.
Yeah, Core will pay for
I like
it
the idea
happily.
of growing our own stuff.
Well, this is honestly kind of one of Core's ways of sort of meditating and connecting with his goddess, so he's more than happy to buy the seeds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take the gold out of my inventory.
20 gold for pound of seeds. That should harvest like, a fair amount of each of those.
I will. I'm not going to do it today, but Core will plant them and probably at some point use plant growth to make them even better. Because I have that spell as a nature cleric.
Grow the plants.
I love that spell. Alright, well, I think we can head home. Are you, you're okay to... I don't think so. I feel bad. We left Boric here and Caesar passed out at home. Are you sure it's are you okay to carry that barrel of boom dust?
Yes, I can carry it.
Okay. I just feel a little
Not
awkward
that
because
heavy.
here's me, 6 feet tall, with this 1 pound bag, and there's you with 20 pounds. Seems a little uneven, but we can't exactly split the barrel, so.
I'm sturdy. I can deal with it. It's fine.
Okay, if you're sure.
It's probably better for me to be handling it anyway. I'm more used to it.
What if I touch it?
Although really, as long as you're not... No, as long as you're not putting it in an open flame, it should be fine.
Oh, I'm kind of the opposite of an open flame.
That's true. Don't get it wet.
Oh,
It doesn't work when it's wet.
then maybe you better hold it. Just in case the barrel is not totally waterproof.
Hopefully it is, but it's true. I'd rather not risk it.
Alright, well then let's head home.
During this time, Kira, you awaken.
Hello.
There's
Alright.
Curry!
The gang is
You
out,
awaken
but
to the smell of curry?
Yeah, the smell of curry greets you.
Also, you are in a blanket and there's a pillow under your head.
Yeah, and there's a bowl full of beef chunks next to the curry.
She goes, oh, yay, food. Eats it.
Nom, nom, nom.
There is a note
Nom.
from Cord that just says, please leave a bowl for Seiza.
Okay.
Eats the note.
I'll leave a bowl for... Eat the bowl. Don't tempt me.
Eats the note.
Don't tempt me. Yeah.
No, Akira is a good friend. She'll save a bowl.
Seiza's still knocked out.
Which is it's amazing how much Seiza sleeps considering that she's a drow who doesn't
Yeah.
need to sleep, but we still always roleplay. Even when Fibble is here, that she passes the fuck out for like 12 hours a night. She's the one drow in the entire world who has to sleep.
She only needs 4 hours of rest, but she wants more.
But she wants more. Yes, I get that.
Well, actually, you know what? While we're out as well,
Ooh.
or at least part of our trip around buying things, I would like to buy 2 chests.
2?
Like,
Flasks?
well, actually,
Like drinking
Like
flasks?
drinking?
or at least
Flask?
like, no, like iron chests to
Oh,
put stuff
chest.
in.
Oh,
Yeah, chest.
an iron chest.
So like
I think those will
a
go.
fully iron chest.
I'll check to see the cost of those.
Yeah, the art. I was just looking. A chest is 5 gold, but I assume that's just like a wooden chest.
Yeah, wooden one.
I want
Full
2 like
iron.
iron chests. And also locks, but I don't know if there's gold for a lock. I'd rather just
I'm just gonna say it's for a fully ironed out chest with a lock, probably of a equivalent size. It'll probably be 40 gold, and it's gonna weigh a lot more.
yeah, that's fair.
It's probably gonna go up to like 60 pounds. 55 pounds, actually.
Core will carry the metal chest. You can do it.
So now you have your seeds, a pound of seeds, 55-pound iron chest, and your 20-pound keg of explosives.
Like, I need... After... This is... After thinking about it, I realized it would probably behoove Ayla to have a proper, secure place to put
Yeah,
a small barrel of gunpowder.
that would probably be a good idea.
So, anything, potentially, anything that she doesn't want other people touching for their own safety, she's gonna put in that chest.
That's smart.
One of which will be the barrel of gunpowder. Later on, you might need to get like a proper gun safe, but look, we follow gun safety in this household.
Oh,
Yeah.
hey, what's a gun? No.
This
A hanging rack
holds
with
that pistol.
with a little iron grating that covers it.
Yeah.
Yeah, with all of our
Okay.
goods, we'll go home and find Akira eating her body weight in curry.
Sounds alright.
Imagine if she really gave us that much curry. 250 pounds of curry. Here you go.
God.
That's a lot of curry.
I just got a little bored, guys. Tee-hee. Here's 250 pounds of curry.
That's a lot. That's too much.
That is a lot of curry.
Something tells me
That's
Tessa
so
much
didn't
curry.
cook that much for you.
No, I don't think so. No, Akira's just eating some curry. Good afternoon, Akira. We're home.
Oh, hello.
You say he's awake?
Nope.
Oh,
Still out.
well, we have nothing for you. I'm sorry. We should have gotten you a treat or something. I apologize.
We have quite a
Kinda
while
should.
to do more shopping.
That's true. We do. Well, where should I put this? I'll gesture to the heavy metal chest.
In my workshop.
To the
if you
workshop.
please.
I take 5 steps over to the workshop.
Sets it down.
Very carefully, avoiding my toesies.
The workshop. Yeah, Akira, you see your two friends like carrying in some rather
It's an
interesting
eclectic
items.
group of eclectic collection of items. A
Yep.
barrel, some seeds, a bunch of actually just a bunch of seeds, and then
Ah,
a iron chest.
Groceries. And I'm sure some
Groceries.
as well.
oh, true, groceries. Yeah, because
Usual. Obviously,
we are
gunpowder is
so
part of
out
groceries.
food. Yeah. Yeah, of course.
Just your usual sundries.
We can't rely on the kindness of Miss Tessa forever, and I will die if I have to eat crackers for every meal of the next week, so... We got some real food.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Still plenty of curry as well.
That's true. Well, after Akira, I don't think so. Maybe there's one bowl left for Seiza.
That's true. It's Akira, depending on how crazy you go on that bowl, there might just have been just the one day's meal. For reference,
Well.
it was at least 2 days, like 2 normal days of food, like for 4 people, like you'd have 2 meals each.
So that's basically about one day for this group because of Akira.
Yeah.
Congrats, Akira. You ate till you were full.
Yippee!
You are satisfied though.
Hooray!
Hey, we don't have to go hunting.
Can you go hunting in the city? Do you do that?
If only somebody really deserves it.
Huh? Oh, I thought you meant like game.
You think Akira hunts animals?
I mean, that's that's normally what people mean when they say they are going hunting. At least where I'm from.
There isn't a lot of animals to hunt around Broznov.
There's rats.
Said her rat.
I don't think Akira is going out to hunt rats.
Maybe raccoons. I've definitely heard some critters running around.
I mean, maybe some strays. I'm not sure.
Maybe a bear or two if you go to the outskirts. They love trash.
I've never heard of a bear, but I've never.
You've never heard of a bear? Oh, wait.
No, I've never heard of someone seeing a bear.
Oh, okay. I was a little worried.
I know what a bear is.
I was like, I know the city is kind of bad off. I didn't think it was that bad off.
There's always the animals at the circus.
Oh, those are sad bears. Those bears make me sad. I don't like the circus. I don't want to talk about clowns again.
Still too soon.
Let's change the topic. I don't want to talk about clowns. Too soon. Oh, always too soon.
It was 3 missions ago.
No, it's too soon. It's
Too
too
soon.
soon. Well,
Unless we
Akira,
go to the circus ringmaster then.
is there anything you want to do today, Akira?
Nope.
Well, you want to help me plant these seeds and then we can go for a swim. I was feeling kind of upset when I woke up, but then Taylor asked me about seeds and I got really excited, and you know, I feel like if I stop moving at the moment, I'm gonna cry. So, it might be better if I just keep moving.
Okay.
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 I get that.
Taylor, I'm gonna plant these seeds for you and then we're gonna go swim.
Sure.
Yay. Sheesh
I
gator.
will just be prepping.
Sheesh.
We go upstairs and we plant the hell out of some seeds!
Yep, you prepare. You've actually got quite a collection that you can start a fairly big garden.
Yeah, Cora's very excited. I very expertly plant everything with their posts and get everything ready to go. I'll even do a little cantrips of Druidcraft to help them get started. Just a little sprouting them up a bit. Speed up the process a tiny bit. Can't make them grow outright like that, but I can make them sort of start to set down roots and sprout a little bit out of the soil.
Try to get the process going.
Yeah. That's the slowest part, you know, actually, Akira, is once you put the seed in, it takes it a while to put down the roots. But once it starts peeking out of the soil, it'll just shoot right up. You'll be surprised.
Okay.
I know this is boring for you. Do you want to go swimming?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna go get my swimsuit.
She doesn't for a second, and then she's like, "Oh right, I should do that."
We're going to the docks, I think, unless we want to be arrested for indecent exposure. You should probably wear your swimsuit. I'm gonna peek in on Seiza's room just to make sure she hasn't died in there.
Seiza is just Family Guy death posed. She's okay. She's resting.
Which one? The Peter
Alright.
Griffin one, or?
Yeah, the Peter
I
Griffin
assume
one.
I peek in the door and Seiza just like groans and chucks something at the door because there's light coming in all of a sudden and I just close it. Sorry.
Yeah. Seiza is fine. She just, you know, is out of commission for the time.
But yeah, we'll go to the docks.
You make your way to the docks. Did anyone have anything else, or are you guys all collectively going? Or...
I think it's just me.
Taylor's not going to the docks.
You're just working on your weapons.
She doesn't. She's working on various things. Yeah, she doesn't really get the same out of being near water as these two. Partly because she can't swim.
Well, with that.
Yeah, she'll be messing around with things currently.
Yeah, I mean, Core's been putting on a good act, but the closer you get to the docks, you definitely notice him sort of... Some tension that you hadn't noticed before definitely eases a little bit. He's been putting on a brave face, but he hasn't been feeling that hot, so... Seems very excited to get into the water.
Give me a second. There we go. Yeah, this works. Alright. Well, you arrive, Kira. Core does have a perturbed disposition. That is noticeable.
Yes, perturbed, though getting better.
But the sounds of the sounds of the sea does once again greet you, and while not in as large of a population as usual, there are a few fishermen who are the regulars who do kind of spot you and acknowledge you with a gesture and welcome before going back to focusing on their fishing.
No, we try to give them their space because we don't want to get caught up in their lines.
Some of them are also like a little bit considerate. They actually do like turn away and recast to give you some space as well.
That's good because we're not what they want to hook either. So
They're the mythos is continues, and
oh no,
they kind of give you a respectful distance.
Core is completely unaware of this mythos. He just thinks they're nice people. It's like, oh, how nice of them. So yeah.
The merman of Broznov.
He doesn't understand. He's like, I don't know who that is. Sounds nice. Anyways, time to go swimming. So yeah, we'll go out as far as we can, and then we'll go for a swim. Core's gonna just take a few seconds to just stand there and close his eyes and feel like the water and the air brush against his face. Take a couple deep breaths, and then he just dives straight down, as far down as he can get.
Meanwhile, just sheesh skater.
Yeah, Kira stays on the top, and Core goes down as far as he can and just stays there for like an hour. It never comes back up for a breath of air because he doesn't have to.
Yep. Let's see. We'll do this for now. Core, roll a wisdom check.
What a wisdom check. Oh, that was almost good. It's a 9.
Ah, okay. Your moments of meditation are long and contemplative as usual, but no real epiphanies kind of strike you. But you do happen to kind of feel at a relative peace again, like sort of a return to normalcy.
I think he sort of got the sense that this wasn't gonna quite do it, but he's happy to feel a little bit back to normal. And though I think even he was aware that this is a new level of shit for him. This is more trouble than he's ever been in, and this is not gonna cut it. This is a nice band-aid for a wound that is bleeding out. So he'll take the relief that he can get, but he accepts that he's gonna have to do a little bit more.
I'll have to give something on this though. As you do sort of leave your meditation, something does kind of... your senses kind of for a moment, as you're kind of like finishing out your meditation, your senses kind of direct your attention towards the surface. You're still kind of in your meditative like moment, so you're not really, I wouldn't say turning and looking, but it's like you're kind of without, for lack of a better term, you're kind of like the third eye sense kind of picking up on something, and it's the flapping of wings and the sound of seagulls.
Oh. Yeah, he'll kick up. He's very accustomed to sort of sensing things that other people don't sense. That comes naturally to him, so he'll kick up and see what the commotion is about.
You pop out to the surface, and no gulls. But you do see Akira. By the way, what have you been doing, Akira? Just floating around?
Literally floating around, being the shish gator that she is.
Yeah. As you
I look very closely at Akira's face. Does it look like she just ate a bird?
No. Akira, you have not seen any gulls either.
Yeah,
However,
I guess I'll
some of the fishermen do offer a fish to you as you pass by.
And she just eats it.
Just like, offer a fish to the gator.
Yeah? She eats it.
Yeah, Cor will just sort of look around and be like, that's strange. I thought I heard a bird.
And Kira just looks at him. No birds. Just fish.
Well, stranger things have happened. How are you feeling, Akira? Shall we head back?
Okay. You want to?
Yeah. It's not as effective as it is today for some reason. But I don't think another couple hours will change that. I think I'm gonna have to make a trip somewhere else, but let's head home for now.
Okay.
Alright. Yeah, Cor seems not as tense as when we first got here, but he does seem a little still melancholy, I suppose. Like, I'm feeling better, but it's not as good as I was hoping, you know?
Yeah.
A little disappointed.
Poor Peps.
Or
He paps you back. Poor Akira. Let's
I'm
go
gonna
home.
BRB. I need
Okay.
to take care of my coffee mug, and I need to find a piece of paper so I can. I need to do math for all of my potions.
Oh my god.
I need to
not
figure things out.
math. Not math. Alright, Akira,
Yeah,
let's
it'll
go.
be a lot easier for me to do it on
Yeah.
paper.
Let's go home.
I got
And let's...
BRB.
Do you want me to cook that fish, or are you just gonna... Oh, you're just gonna eat it.
Yep. She just eats it raw.
Well, you know, in some places that's a delicacy, so...
It is here, fisherman says as he laughs. Though maybe not
Does
quite
the-
like that.
Does the bone hurt when it goes down? Those things are sharp.
She just shrugs.
I worry for you sometimes. Actually, most of the time. Actually, all the time. Constantly.
But why?
Because it's easier to worry about you, who's right in front of me, than the absolute random horribleness that is our current situation.
She shrugs. Could always be worse.
It could, but it could always be better, and it's not.
Okay, I'm back.
It's true.
We'll have to find a way to make it better. Somehow.
I mean, he said for himself that not everything can stay as broad, like, Broznov. Because of Broznov, you know. You go higher and higher, then you just fall. So, same goes to him.
I guess that's true. I mean, I'm not really the type of person to wish someone's death. Even someone like him, but it wouldn't be terrible if he just disappeared. Which is an awful thought, I apologize.
People die all the time.
That is true, it's part of life. I just don't actively like to be that reason, you know?
Unless you need to eat them.
I have never eaten a person.
That's probably for the best.
I have to agree with you on that one. I agree.
We agree on eating people shouldn't be the norm.
Yeah, you know, I'm surprised that that is your mindset, and I appreciate it. Well, let's head home. Talk to Taylor, get some dinner. Make sure, once again, Seiza has not choked on her own vomit. And then, what do you want to do for the rest of the week?
For you guys do, I guess. Not really much that I want to do. Need to do.
Well, I should probably visit my mother.
Time to see mother.
Yeah, I should visit my
Akira's just
mother.
like, oh. Is it normal to want to visit your mom?
Well, she's not my mom. No, I'm
Oh.
sorry. I'm speaking of the wild mother.
Oh.
I should go visit the temple.
Temple?
Yeah.
Wild
Have
mother?
Have you? It's in the Hanging Gardens. Have you never heard of it?
Not really.
Yeah, it's called, let me see. To be honest, I haven't visited much myself, but I think it's called the Haven of the Wild Heart. Or just the Haven. Pretty small, not a big deal, but it's nice. I think
You
I
do
stopped
there?
there. You just, convene with the Wild Mother, I suppose. It's a little tricky. She's not really the type who really cares much for temples, but she understands that sometimes her followers need a more physical symbol of her presence. Because normally
So-
if you want to pray to her, you would just do what I just did. Go out into the wild somewhere and be in a quiet space for some time.
So you follow some lady that you're not related to?
I mean, this is this would be a tricky question for the higher clerics to explain. I admit that I'm pretty low down on the totem pole. In a strange way, we are all related to her. She is the wild mother who birthed us all into existence. But on a technical level, yes, I suppose no, we're not related.
Wait, so she's your mom, but she's not your mom.
Well, I have a real mother somewhere out there, of course. I don't know her. I don't know her name even, but she exists. But the person who watched over me, protected me as I was growing up, it was the Wild Mother and her clerics and her followers who raised me. So in
Oh.
a sense, yes, I do think of her as a mother, even though I've never met her in person.
That's nice. Wait, you follow her and you haven't met her before?
I haven't met her physically. No, I don't think many people could claim to have met a god in person before. But she speaks to me sometimes, and her signs are everywhere. She's why I'm here in the city. She led me to come here.
Akira just accepts it and nods.
And Cor just nods like he explained it so well. He's like, wow, I'm good at this. I'm a great cleric. I totally explained that perfectly. He explained nothing. But anyways, there is a small shrine temple to the Wild Mother in the Hanging Gardens. I visited there once when I first got here, and I haven't been back since because I haven't needed it. It's like I said, it's really more of a place of comfort for her followers than really a place of worship to her. It's sort of your last resort when everything else fails. And right now, it seems like everything else is failing, so it might be good to go get some guidance. If you'd like to come, you can. I've been growing some stuff to offer to her. Because I always do. So.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Well, let's go home first and have dinner.
Okay. Then Akira's gonna scamper down into the laboratory and be like, it stinks in here.
Except the laboratory is just our foyer. It's like the first floor of our house. It's right there.
I think if I recall,
Sure.
it's the first floor. It's also the it was the storage room down below. They got repurposed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
probably what it was.
That's
Yeah, where
basically
Taylor's lab is. Yeah, scampers down into the lab to be like, it stinks in here.
It does. I don't. Doesn't bother me though. I'm used to it. Also, I can't smell things currently.
Oh, why can't you smell
You
things?
get used to it. It's like I can smell things, just not right now. All the chemicals and such kind of
Oh no.
deaden my sense of smell for a bit.
That means if I sat here for long enough, I too won't have a sense of smell.
Oh no. Core covers
Yes.
his nose. I'm sorry. I value my sense of
It's-
smell very strongly.
Me
Yes,
too.
if you spent some hours in here or longer, you wouldn't smell much afterwards.
Should we put up like a... Oh, a curtain wouldn't really help, would it?
I'm not sure.
You
There
know
might
what?
be
This is
some
what
way
I'm gonna
to-
do. Every single time Core walks past the laboratory now, he's gonna do a little druidcraft cantrip of air that just like pushes the air back into the laboratory as he walks by, like
Ventilates.
gust, 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 pushing it back in so that he's not getting hit by the smell.
It's true that I could probably find some way to better ventilate it. I'm not really used to having space to ventilate.
Hmm,
I only just now thought of that, actually.
that might be good to set up. I'm sure there's a way.
I don't really know much about that.
Hmm. You know, I mean, you could try asking somebody at one of the spires. They don't really have, like, ventilation systems, but they have some engineers who really know what they're talking about. It honestly goes straight over my head when they would try to explain all the complex systems, and I was just like, but plants just need water and soil? Question mark.
It's
I don't
almost asking your
understand.
neighbor. Can you make
That's
a
true.
Will you be heading over?
unit?
Miss Tessa does seem very smart. And I guess there's her fiance too. Oh, whatever.
Will you be heading over?
Me?
I believe
Oh,
her
to see
fiance's
Tessa?
name was Hawk. Without checking my notes.
Oh, I wasn't planning on it.
No, to go to the tower.
Oh, to go to the spire? I
Towers.
wasn't planning on going to the spires. I mean, do I need to... We seem pretty good on money at the moment. Did that cost more than I was paying attention to? Are we strapped for cash? I could pick up an extra job if we need money.
But you were speaking of it.
Oh, no, I was talking about the
Of engineers.
Oh, right. Well, I was just suggesting that to you. I wasn't planning on going there myself. It was just a thought if you
I'll keep
needed
it in
some
mind
help.
then.
Yeah, I have a friend there. He's pretty smart. Nice guy too. Maybe you talked to him when we were there last.
Maybe. I'm not sure.
He's a nice fellow. There's some good people who work there. I would hate for anything to happen to it. Stares directly into the camera. But yes, let's make some dinner with our groceries.
Yippee!
What do we want for dinner?
What's on the menu?
Shall I pull a Nana? What do we want for dinner? Let's have fried rice. Let's do fried rice.
Just think of the.
It'll be chicken. It'll be. We'll have chicken fried rice, but Core's gonna have no chicken in his.
This makes me think of the the Heim Daisy comics. The commercial comes on. Juness sounds pretty fun.
Oh yeah, Junez. At your Junez. But yeah, we'll have chicken fried rice. And course will just be minus the chicken.
Yeah.
And I will of course save a serving for Seiza.
You telling me a chicken fried this rice?
Yeah, my name is Core
ready.
and I am a chicken.
Oh. You have yourself a nice hearty meal since the last of the curry. Presumably the last helping of it went to Seiza.
Yeah, I'm sure we like snuck it up to her and she ate it like a little gremlin in her room and then put the bowl out in the hallway. And Core dutifully went up, got the bowl, brought it downstairs, washed it, put it away.
Good stuff.
But yeah. Well, what are your plans for the evening, Miss Taylor?
What y'all doing?
I have various bits of planning and crafting to do.
Oh,
New things to
okay.
try out.
Because
But I
Akira
need
and I
to
were planning on
make
making a
schematics for them.
trip. If you wanted to come, we're gonna go to the temple.
What's at the temple?
Find out.
Guidance, I suppose. New experience that you've never felt before?
She looks at you blankly for like a solid 5 seconds. Okay.
Oh, really? Oh, that was easy. That was an easier sell than I thought it was gonna be, Akira.
Really?
Or were you expecting it to be a hard sell?
Oh, this is Broznov.
It's true, I've never really been faithful, but I haven't
Oh,
really
great.
had a place for gods in my life.
Let me go upstairs and get our offering and then we can go.
Okay.
Alright. Core runs upstairs and he comes back down with a clay pot with a plant in it. It's a little flowering plant with these small little whitish yellow flowers and this sort of spindly little leaves. Here we go. This is our offering.
You got your little offering all set. Y'all headed out?
Yeah, let's head out to the Haven of the
Sounds
Wild
like it.
Heart. Let's go.
You make your way off to the Copper Subdistrict, or Copper Street. And, hold on a sec. You pass by, the spires, of course, and, the cacophony of, late night market shoppers. As you know, this is it is Broznov night, so everything is now just like dark and lit by the various lights. And yeah, as you approach, and I'm just gonna rip these notes here. But you
Do
approach
it.
the haven. As you approach the haven, there's the heavy smoggy air of Broznov clears as you walk towards this sort of this area that's still has plenty of tall buildings, but there's just a sudden just like absence, and you can see sky essentially above. But you see this very wooden style building. It's got a very heavy dark brown oaken color to it. That's and a small little fencing that sort of separates itself away from the rest of the stony street and stony buildings. Yeah, it distinctly kind of sits out or sits apart from the rest of Broznov, but still seems very, I don't know, it's contrasting, but it still kind of fits snug in the middle of all this.
Yeah.
But you do see at and around this wooden building, you sort of see various vines grow from these round pillars that are supporting this sort of structure. Um, and you actually hear just like the distant call of birds and insects, um, despite there being no real animals around. And you see, kind of intermeshed with the street and the pathway up to this little shrine, is actual earth, like dirt and soil, that sort of like wedges itself in and around the stones, and eventually it's just only plant life. With still kind of a clearing to its way. You see several people who are they appear to be attendants of this shrine, dressed in simple garbs of what appears to be kind of linen garbs with various markings of wow, I'm totally blank, Melora. And one of them does approach you guys, greets you, and you see him with sort of a sack in his hand, and he draws out and he offers a small bit of ground soil to each of you.
Yeah, Core will intervene at this part. Good evening. We have our own offering, so I think we can take care of it.
Oh, okay. And he sort of nods and kind of steps, gives you space.
I'll gesture over to my compatriots. Come over here, and I'll sort of lead them to the little planters on the side of the street, and we'll look for an empty spot to plant our offering, basically.
We'll follow.
Here, come here and stick your hands in this. I instruct them to all stick their hands in the pot and help me pull out the plant, and we place it in a little hole in the planter, and basically we just transplant this plant into a new home.
Okay.
Together. You have to put your fingers in it. Sorry. Get your hands dirty.
As you plant the offering, immediately as it's I can't really get the best words, but as it's securing itself to the new home, its colors kind of grow quickly more vibrant, and you can see like it gets a more lively look as the ground soil seems to almost rejuvenate, breathe life into this offering.
Yeah, and then you watch Court, who takes his hands, which are covered in dirt, and instead of like shaking it off, he takes his dirty finger and he draws a line straight down his forehead. So he has like this mark of dirt on his forehead, and then he looks at the two of you and says, "Do you want to do it or should I? Because this is part of the process."
The line of dirt?
Yeah, I'm just gonna reach out and I'll do it to Taylor too. Just smear your forehead with the soil. I'll look at Akira.
She lets you do it.
You too?
Okay.
Alright. Don't wash this off. It's pretty important that you don't wash this off yet. Until we get home. Okay?
Okay.
I'll smear it on Akira too. Okay.
Yeah.
Now we can enter the temple. Yeah, so we'll head to the haven.
So you step inside, and I'm gonna go off of your thing, Core. But a gentle wind blows through the building, filled with the scent of sea air and wildflowers. Seawater begins to drip from a statue, which is appears to be the statue of Melora inside inside and around. And the watery hair flows out and a gentle mist reaches towards the stone figure, enveloping in a haze of just water droplets. Around the statue is just a myriad of vines and various plant fauna just sort of attaching itself, almost like a very natural scene of like a cove, like a sea cove in a tropical jungle. As the very inside of the temple sort of greets you, almost acknowledging you specifically, Core.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
As,
I'll sort of urge the others to come across the threshold and enter in. Come on, come say hi to the mother.
Taylor will follow.
Yeah, Akira goes in and goes, hi, course, mother? Everyone's mother?
Yeah, come here. Let me show you this statue. And yeah, in the center there is this. Look, I like the description I made, so I'll explain it. There's a stone statue of the Wild Mother.
I
but
kind of beefed it a bit, so.
Nah, it's fine. This is a story we tell together, so we're telling it together. At the bottom of the statue, it looks almost just like raw stone, like uncarved rock. But as it twists up, it begins to form the folds of like a flowing dress, which then build up into the torso and face of a plump woman, the Wild Mother, you assume. And it's quite lovely, though it has this strange sort of feeling of being very soft and gentle, but still very like angular and natural. Feels like every angle you sort of get a different sense of this statue. And Kor sort of just walks up to it peacefully and kneels down before it and sort of pats the ground next to him like, come on, sit down. And the ground is sort of covered in vines and soil, and there's plants sprouting from all places. So this is the Wild Mother. Well, her statue, of course. This isn't her, actually. Akira. In case you were confused.
Okay.
You know, this temple is pretty special to me because this statue is a replica of the one that we have at my home in the mountains. So, this is almost sort of like my home away from home in a way. Though obviously, there's not enough room to really live in this little shrine.
I don't understand it'd be special to you then.
Yeah. It's very nice. Well, if you don't mind, let's just spend a few minutes here in quiet reflection and then we can head out. As I was telling Akira, this is sort of just the last resort, because normally, if you want to speak to the Wild Mother, you don't go to a building. But I'm a little desperate, so...
Where would you normally go?
Well, where I usually go is the ocean. If you want to talk to the Wild Mother, you have to go into the wilds. The ocean is the closest place here in Broznov to get to the wilds, so...
I see. Don't know if I much like to go to the wilds, especially not the ocean.
Well, to be honest, you're just as likely to hear from her here or in the ocean as you are in, I don't know, the dump with the rats. That's sort of her domain too, the sewers and all the moss. She's there as well. Just sometimes it's better to find a place that connects with you and the wild bits in your heart. That's where you're most likely to find her. So maybe for you it's, I mean, I don't want to presume, but a tunnel? She lives down there too, in the rocks?
You can find things growing down there if you look in the right places.
Yeah, and even if nothing grows, well, rocks are her domain as well, stone. It's all a part of the world, and it's a world she made for us. Yes.
Cool.
Let's... Corey looks a little awkward, but he's like, oh, let's pray.
Just it's like, okay, pray.
I don't think Core has ever done like a guided prayer, so he's just gonna do what he always does and just sort of quietly meditate and sort of open his mind to the Wild Mother. Less of asking her for like answers. He basically has one question, which is, we're about to go on a very difficult path that Core does not like. All he wants to know is there still a chance that we can do some good down this path? Or have we already reached a point of no return?
This is the question you posed to the Wild Mother.
Yeah. Can I still do good in her honor with our tasks ahead?
Make a wisdom check with advantage.
Okay. Let's go, Core. Let's go. With advantage. Oh, that's a natural 19 for a 24.
Alrighty. As you concentrate and as you pray and focus on your prayer and your question that you asked Melora, you are almost sort of greeted with the sound of the seagulls again. For a brief moment, you feel this sort of warm comfort, like something is sort of... You feel as though there is something kind of like acknowledging your presence, that you know, some other entity is acknowledging you.
The embrace of the mother.
It is indeed. You do feel as though Melora's attention is brought upon you. But the disconnect of Broznov makes a lot of interactions rather difficult, indeed, as a lot of what you are you suddenly are now hearing and sensing nature itself, rather than anything else like directly. And for a brief moment, you hear the flapping of wings. And you hear the baying of gulls, and suddenly you kind of catch a vision of a flock of seagulls, and each seagull, there's several seagulls that kind of look distinct from the rest of the flock. One with feathers that are black and gray. One with feathers whose wingtips are a sea green. Another whose feathers looks more bronze, and one whose feathers are more of white with red tips on it. And these particular gulls are flying out into the skies, out into the ocean, and they're flying higher and higher up into this vibrant blue sky. However, above them, another bird casts its shadow, and overhead, it is a massive, huge, absolutely like an very, very scarred-looking vulture. And this vulture, despite its size, despite its nature, as you know, vultures are not really predators. Despite all this vulture like flaps its wings and it casts its shadows and covers up the sun. It flaps furiously, and its continued flapping just continues to just cover the sun, and a gray smoke seems to almost dust, as if it's like shaking dust off of its feathers, is just permeating and like screening this sunlight. And the as it continues to just block this light, it flaps towards you, and you hear the beating of its wings. And as it gets closer to you guys, or not you guys, but to the gulls, as you're seeing the perspective of the gulls, you hear the flapping sound more and more metallic, and it sounds less of a wing flapping and sounds more of a da 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 da, like metal rapidly like clasping together, and it gets louder and louder until the ringing sort of stops and you wake up, or well, wake, but you kind of, the vision ends and you're kind of pulled out of it.
If Cor was to sort of try to interpret this, would he interpret the seagulls as being himself, his friends?
Could make a wisdom check.
Or can I make it insight?
Yeah.
Because that's better than straight wisdom. 19 again.
I mean, it's fair enough, I sort of gave it away, but the gulls are somewhat representative of you guys, the party. And it seems there is... it seems that the Wild Mother does have some sort of great task for you. But it also seems like she's warning you of some big danger.
Yeah, I think Cor sort of interprets this as there is a chance for good deeds in the future, hence the blue sky, right? But there's currently something that will intervene that needs to be dealt with in some manner. Alright. I guess the others will just sort of look like Cor just sits there quietly for a few minutes and then sort of snaps out of it.
Yeah.
Suddenly.
Illa's just chilling.
Yep.
Honestly, I
Akira
don't
doesn't
think
know how
she's...
to pray.
You can offer up a prayer if you'd like. It'll be a wisdom check, but no advantage.
She has no idea how to do it, so...
Fair enough.
Do it. Just do it anyways.
Oh, how is she gonna do it? She doesn't know how.
You don't have to know how. Just say something. I mean, to be fair, you've never seen Cor do like a ceremonial prayer. He's literally just sitting there. The offering we made was not like money. It was a plant. So you get the sense that this is not like the type of religion perhaps that you've ever heard of. It's a little more casual. I mean, Cor literally refers to this god as his mother. Would probably be considered highly sacrilege to many other clerics of other deities to say such a thing. Do it, Akira. I believe in you.
You may try.
What's she gonna do?
Taylor, you as well may try.
Try?
To pray to the Wild Mother.
It's a wisdom
I suppose Taylor could
check.
try and emulate some of whatever she's seeing. Or like... I don't know. Trying to emulate prayers to Moradin or something. Like, this is not her kind of deity at all.
Yep. Alright, let's see how bad
But
it's
she
gonna
can,
be.
she can give it a try.
That's about right. Yeah. Literally, Akira just out loud goes, "Thanks for being Kor's mom, but not mom."
Thanks for being... that's a natural one.
Oh.
Oh boy.
I did better.
I'll give Akira
Yes.
something that I don't give anything
Listen,
for you, Taylor. I'm sorry.
Listen,
That's fine.
Melora
As-
is a giving and generous goddess.
Um, you are graced very briefly of something, Akira.
Oh, that's surprising.
You, you can't help but think of, like, your mind kind of drifts elsewhere, and for a brief moment, you sort of hear the rushing sound of water, like through the guts, like the sewers. Um,
Oh, I know those.
but suddenly, as your senses give you the feeling as if you're passing through the sewers and various things, it almost feels like you're sort of it the sound of creaking metal is slowly replaced with the sounds of creaking wood, and the echoing reverb of the guts' water starts to greet you with a different sound, one of open ocean, essentially.
Ooh.
And the putrid smells that briefly grace your nose from the guts is then replaced with salty waters instead.
Ooh. Akira, the mother is calling you.
Uh, she has no idea what this means. It's like, oh, that's cool. The guts leads out to the ocean.
I mean, technically, probably, actually, because that's usually where sewers go to eventually.
Yeah.
So
Like,
you're not
split.
wrong.
So
Don't worry,
Kira's just
we'll,
like,
we'll
wow.
discuss this vision in the future. But yeah, Core will sort of snap out of it and look around. He looks a little
Caleb's
nervous,
just sitting there.
but again, more relaxed even than he was after swimming. Like, alright, the news he got wasn't the best news, but it also wasn't the worst news, so...
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that was invigorating. And very
Yeah.
helpful.
I found out that the guts lead to the ocean.
Oh? I mean, I suppose that's true
That is true.
usually.
Yeah.
Oh, did the Wild Mother show you something? She showed me something.
Oh, is that how it works?
Yes, usually. I mean, she works in many mysterious ways. Sometimes she'll give you visions. Sometimes it'll be as simple as, a gust of wind to push you in a direction, the scent of something familiar. But sometimes, if you focus hard enough, yes, she will send you visions or dreams. Hell, I've heard of some clerics who simply walk through the forest and hear her voice plain as day.
Oh, cool. I don't understand it, but cool.
I know you got a nat 1, Taylor, but I still will give you something.
Okay,
as you
I don't really need anything.
kind of focus.
I think it.
You
Sure.
For you, you hear the sound of burning wood, and it's not like a fireplace. It's something bigger. It's almost like, I mean, it's it's almost as if it's something like massive, like a forest, which I suppose would be difficult to imagine, but more so like a like a large furnace, I suppose would be the closest thing you could relate to. Like a massive furnace is just cooking away, like a lumberyard's worth of wood. And amid that, you can hear the shriek of birds. Not burning, but just like the shriek of birds, just making noises.
Like they're chilling
briefly.
around.
It's probably not a pleasant sound of all things. And before the sounds break away, you do for a brief moment catch an actual smell, despite your inability to smell anything but it's it is the smell of burning oak.
This is a vision from the Wild Mother. It's actually all in your head. So you smell it because it doesn't actually rely on your scent of smell.
Yeah. It's very brief. It's like it lingers for maybe a few seconds, and then as soon as you break away from the sounds of a raging fire and some shrill bird screech, that's it.
Interesting.
No visual though.
I mean, Taylor is aware of at least one massive furnace.
Well, thank you for coming here with
Certainly,
me.
there's one place that goes to. No problem.
Oh, I do remember something pretty cool from the last time I was here. Do you want to see something kind of neat?
Sure.
It's
That's
really hard to feel the influence of the Wild Mother here in Broznov, despite the fact that, just as any place, she's as much here as she is in the forest. But they do have something a little special for visitors of the temple to remind them that the Wild Mother's influence still exists in the city. Core's going to point to like one of the openings on the side of the temple. And if you look out, you just see, at first you just see Broznov, right? Just the cities, the people. But then you start to see giant trees growing up between all the buildings, and you see birds flying through the city. You see plants and vines growing up, all the structures and bugs and insects, and just it looks like someone has just imposed a forest on top of Broznov. That's pretty fascinating to see.
Yeah.
A what if?
A what if, perhaps? Or a reminder that even if such a place is not possible, that her influence is still here. Just maybe
Well, I'm
not
sure some
as
people find
giant
it quite
trees.
comforting.
I certainly do. I do. Nice
I
to
don't
see.
think Melora is really my kind of goddess, but
That's fair enough.
I can see the appeal.
Well, she's not the jealous type. Well, mostly not.
Oh.
Yeah, it's fine. But yeah, shall we head home? I'm feeling a lot better.
That's good.
And yeah, you guys can always come back here if you want. Obviously, you don't have to come with me, though. Like you said, maybe you're not that into it, and that's okay. But just a word of warning: if you come back, and he points to sort of the mark on his forehead, you need this to get in. You don't have to make an offering. That's what the attendant had earlier, the sack of soil. If you don't have this, you can't come in, or you can't come in as easily. Broznov is a dangerous place, you know. The mother watches out for her children.
That it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's head home, and we can wash up once we head home. But yeah. Cora will just sort of stand up and lay one more sort of pat on the statue, and then sort of turn around and head out.
Any other things you guys want to do before you return home?
No, I think we'll head home.
Good.
We just came to accompany Core.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Listen, we prayed at the Isles of Capitalism for Taylor, and then we went and saw a nature guide for Core.
Yep. I'm just here for the ride.
Hooray. Well, you got a vision from the Wild Mother, too. She's calling you.
Nature's calling.
Should be calling. Time to pick up that phone.
Come on.
Also for Seiza, if his comes around, we can sort of do a thing for if Seiza tags along. If not, that's fine as well.
Oh, yeah. Well, I imagine that in the future, Cole will be going back to this temple, so.
Okay.
Yeah, because I actually wrote up something for everyone.
I was just
What do you
gonna
mean,
go
wrote
with
up a
just the
thing for
first one
everyone?
since it was
Yeah, that's fair.
yeah.
That's fair.
But next
If
time
you guys go
around,
alone, there's
customize it.
there's special things for everyone when they enter the temple.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh
Each of
shit.
you guys
Well,
have your own entrance thing, but
Yeah, the temple reacts to the people who enter it. But Core went in
well,
first,
now
so
I
it
wanna,
makes sense that it reacts to him first. Plus, he's, the
now I wanna
actual
come back.
follower here. Yeah.
I wanna, I wanna see that.
I mean, maybe Taylor is. She may not be like, well, I'm a huge follower of Melora now, but maybe she's like, well, that was weird.
That's
And
true.
Not
It
something
was
she's
weird.
experienced before.
Not like she can't appreciate Melora things.
Oh.
She kind of needs Melora things to do her alchemy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
true.
Like she might like smithing things and crafting, but plants are a very important part of her
Yeah.
skill set.
And listen, Melora is a chaotic good guide, so actually she's neutral. Right, she's neutral. She's not even good. She's just neutral. So she'll look the other way on a. No, she's just straight neutral, I think. But she'll look the other way on a lot of stuff. So don't you worry about that.
True neutral is appropriate for a nature
Yeah.
deity.
She's neutral, so she's gonna be a little bit more forgiving. But yeah,
Yes,
we'll
Faye.
head home. We'll head home, Core, feeling a little bit better about the future, a little bit more afraid, but also a little better. Oh my god, Fibble just got home.
Oh
My poor
no.
dude.
Well, if we want
My
to give it a
God,
quick,
Taylor, do you got anything?
if you want to do a quick minute, we can wait and people can hop on when he's ready.
Yeah.
Unless
Anybody got anything?
yeah.
By anyone, I mean Taylor. Taylor, you got anything else?
What do you mean?
Anything
Like-
you need to do?
I don't know if there's stuff that I need to roleplay out, but I do need to. I have. During that time, I have also been writing down things I needed. I guess the other thing.
Fipple's got stuff to take care of. No
Yeah.
worries. That's all right.
I don't really know if this is needs to be played out, but in addition to the schematics that Taylor is drawing up for her upcoming potions and equipment, because she has quite a few that she'd like to take a look at and see what she wants to make. Oh, one of the things that I will be doing at some point during our little break. I had mentioned it before. Let me just do this.
The weapon, the wrist mount.
That is one of the things, but not. I'm gonna say this before I forget. Also doing some. Okay. She will use her potion of detect magic, and when she makes it, a potion of see invisibility. Not at the same time, but she's gonna be doing both, and take a look around their entire apartment. Look for any kind of magical sensor, essentially.
The Shishgator will follow me like, what in the world are
Jeez.
you doing?
I am looking for.
Yeah, and we're doing this later. We're doing this just at some point during the week, right?
Yeah. Because Taylor has to make the
Okay.
potion.
I am a high enough level cleric for this. I will use Dispel Magic if we find anything.
Yeah.
As you.
That's good. To quickly answer Akira though, I am looking to see if anyone is snooping magically.
Hmm.
Oh,
Yes, such magic is. I wouldn't say it's super common, but it's always a possibility.
It exists. So yeah, that's what Taylor's doing. Getting her peepers out and looking all over their living space.
Roll your respective perceptions if you're actively looking around
Uh,
the house.
I will. What I'm gonna do is this. Since she's the only one using the potions, that means I can't see them. But if she has to roll perception, I will use enhance ability to give her advantage.
Good, because that was another natural one. But the advantage got me a 13, so that's going to be a 21
All
in my
right.
perception.
You scour the house, and you thoroughly search it. There is no traces of anything magical or anyone using magic,
Okay.
or even being present within your house. No unwanted intruders.
Good.
Well, that's reassuring at least.
So, whatever, any worries of syndicate watchers is well, your worries are alleviated.
Yeah.
So, I have a question. If we're really worried about people coming in the house, how worth it to you lot is it for us to protect our home?
It might depend on how viable that is.
Well, I know of a spell where I could place down sort of a ward, perhaps right in front of our door. I would spring a trap if someone untoward entered, someone without perhaps some kind of password. Similar a little bit to what I was talking about with the temple and the smearing of soil, though not quite as strong, obviously.
It wouldn't be a bad idea. I'm not sure about the door, though.
Hmm,
There isn't a guarantee that they would be using
that's
the front door.
true. It's hard to say where it would best be to place it.
Does this place have like a living room or?
A living space.
Do we? Yeah, do we have a living room?
If I remember
I
correctly,
don't
your
remember.
living room is on the second floor. Because you have like a, it's kind of like a townhouse where the bottom floor is sort of like,
It's like the smallest floor, right?
yeah.
There's not a bunch of stuff.
And then, no wait, the next floor is just kind of like the living quarters. It's pretty much like a bunch of
Well, because I
rooms.
know there's two bedrooms on the second floor and two on the third, because Akira and Core have the rooms on the third floor.
So I think the safest way to put it is like the living space and the kitchen are sort of on the, it would be the,
The second floor,
yeah, the second
probably,
floor.
I would
Because
assume.
the top floor is the last room and the pool, which takes up most of the floor.
Mhm. We could place it in the living area, because I mean, if someone was gonna sneak in and look around for stuff, that's most likely where they would probably go, trying to get information or something on us.
And not counting the windows,
Would be-
realistically, your 2 points of entry would be from the top of the pool and the main floor, or the main door.
Living room or the area to get inside from the pool would be most likely. Although the living room is probably safer because they could use the front door. Or simply put it in front of one of our rooms.
Yes, and then the other question is, it can do multiple things. It could just explode, but then it would ruin our house. So
I don't want that.
we could put another spell into it, though. Do I know when it goes
Something
off?
non-lethal, or at least non-destructive.
Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out if I know. Do I sense when it goes off no matter where I am? Do I have to be close by? I'm looking specifically at Glyph of Warding. It takes an hour to cast it, but then it lasts until it's dispelled or triggered. Okay, it's nearly invisible and requires an intelligence investigation check to spot.
You're not looking for traps, so there's no guarantee that someone will just like passively see that, though.
Yeah.
Just says casting time 1 hour, lasts until dispelled or triggered.
What I don't know if it's a really long spell, so I could be missing it. What I'm more curious about is I think it's most useful to us if Core knows when it goes off, right? Because that would tell us that there's someone in the house, which is almost more useful than it just being a trap. It's almost more interesting. You can put a spell into it. Could you put like a clairvoyance spell into it? Oh, but that's only a mile. And we're usually probably more than a mile away from our house.
Brainstorming.
Yeah, brainstorming. The funnest part about D&D. Brainstorming.
I'm like genuinely like thinking of like how you could have it set, how it could like set
Yeah.
off to indicate like, hey.
I can think of spells that would do it, but I don't think they're spells that Core has access to, like something like Hunter's Mark, right? A high level's Hunter's Mark would do it, but I don't have that. And also I can only go up to 3rd level spells because that's as far as Core can go up to. What would tell him? Oh, I don't know if this would work. It would be kind of funny if we could, well, we'd have to fiddle with it. Could I set the trap? It wouldn't do any damage to the person. Could I set it so that there's a sending message that would come to me? Like, almost do like a pre-recorded sending message that would be sent directly to Core if someone triggers the trap.
An alarm works within 1 mile of you. I was like wondering if alarm could work. We have
Well, if it's
Sending might actually be...
Because sending can go any distance, even to another plane of existence. Also, I don't have
a
alarm.
short message of 25 words or less to a creature with which you are familiar.
I'm familiar with myself.
Sure.
You could always target someone else, too.
That's true. I could have it sent to Taylor, right?
Yeah.
And it lets you store the spell for
Since...
later, so I see no reason why it wouldn't let you, like...
Yeah.
Store a sending for later that just automatically
That's pretty much what you're doing. You cast the sending, but instead of it going off, it's like
it's held in place.
Stasis. That's a fun combo.
Yeah, actually, that would be kind of cool. And now the question is, what should the trigger for the trap be? Because we don't just want this to willy-nilly go off, because it costs 200 gold's worth of, like, crushed diamond. So I don't want this going off every day. But you can be really specific about the triggers. Like, you can literally even do, like, creature type, alignment type. You can get really specific with it.
I think probably the most general would be, like, set it so that none of us trigger it, straight up. But also...
Oh, you know, because it is so, like, it's so sort of, because you can refine the trigger so much, because it's basically, like, you can do even, like, physical characteristics or certain circumstances. What if the circumstance of the trigger is someone uninvited to our home steps on the trap?
Just would the spell know that?
Well,
Unfortunately, it is a little vague.
I mean, the spell is like, it's It's very vague, but it's like, do what you want, you know?
Although apparently it can detect alignment, so
Yeah, it can detect alignment, so I feel like it would sort of it seems to understand intent a little bit. Or something as simple as we just have to have a password. Like, we throw up a lucky charm on our front door, and every time we come in, we touch the lucky charm, and that means that we're not going to set off the trap. We take our shoes off.
yeah.
If you're wearing shoes in our house, you set off the trap, you heathen.
Could
I
do
mean,
that, actually.
that's not a bad one. If someone's breaking and entering, they're not
taking their shoes off. So new house rule, take your shoes off or you're going to set off a trap. Damn, actually, I feel like that core would totally be into that. That's going to be our trigger. All right. And I will figure out the exact message. So I will take the 200 gold out of my inventory.
Ayla can just not wear shoes around the house. She'll want to keep boots on probably in her in her craft area, but
I suppose
she's not going to trigger it from there.
Do not wear shoes up in our living area, right? So
yeah.
We'll put a little.
Oh, Amir doesn't even wear shoes, so it's fine.
Perfect.
That's one less to worry about.
Take this out. Okay, I took the money out of my account. So yes, Core will take the hour to cast a magical glyph right in the center of our living space. You know what? To be extra sneaky, why don't we throw a rug on top of it? Because I think it will still trigger if there's a rug on top.
What's your
and
message?
So I have to write it still.
Oh.
But it will send a message to Taylor if someone with shoes on steps on the glyph.
If someone enters our living room with shoes on, it's triggered.
And steps on our nice... You know what? I'm gonna make it a white rug, because then that's like real asshole move, right? You're gonna step on a white rug with shoes on?
Damn.
That's a real dick move.
Bruh.
And if someone with shoes on steps on our white rug, it will trigger the glyph and it will send a message. It will send a sending to Taylor and let her know that there is perhaps someone unwanted in our home. And I will write out that 25-word sending when I'm not half dead.
The rug is dirty. I want to see that one.
Help! I'm dirtied! Send bleach!
So yeah. Alcor will be doing that then, I guess. Well. I essentially want to...
Is your send... Hold on. But is your sending gonna be actually the rug is dirty? Is that gonna be...
No. I have to... I'll write out the 25-word message. But that's not gonna be the phrase. It's probably gonna be something more along the lines of...
She's gonna get her worth out of it.
Attention! There is someone untoward creeping around in our home.
Yeah, the rug is dirty is what Taylor would send if she was the one doing it.
The rug is dirty. This is your reminder to send it to the laundry.
I'll need that in writing just for kicks.
I will write it up for you. It's only 25 words. Shouldn't take too long.
The thing I want to do with my wrist-mounted hand crossbow, though, is to not make it a hand crossbow. I keep the wrist mount, but I want to retrofit like some kind of I don't know how to phrase it as elegantly. Alchemical projector, I guess.
Oh, you're making it into
like things that
little launcher.
Yeah, a device so that I can utilize spells that otherwise don't make a whole lot of sense for making into a potion or a like grenade kind of thing. Because some of them are fine, but like the ones that are shorter ranged, I can be like, yeah, okay, you could throw that. But fireball has as an example, Fireball has a range of 150.
Mm.
I don't know if... I don't think Taylor's throwing a grenade 150 feet.
No.
So something else that she can basically load, like, charges into,
Yeah.
and just, like...
Something kind of like I'm imagining kind of like the Monster Hunter like wrist-mounted slinger, which is kind of what I was going
Something
for
like that,
these.
yeah. So she can... Yeah. So she can make other things that she doesn't need to drink or grenades. Something that makes a little bit more sense for thematically what's happening. Which...
There we go. I
Yeah.
put it. Just imagine this message coming to you in Core's voice. In the future, if it ever triggers.
Amazing. Which she's got a lot of other stuff on the table right now, so it doesn't necessarily have to be a like she's gonna make it, but she wants to at least start working on it, like getting things sorted, draw up some diagrams. Because it's gonna be a little not as much of a crossbow. At least not visually as much of a crossbow.
Okay.
Alright.
Sort of a projectile launcher.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Car will put a very accidentally passive-aggressive sign both right inside the front door and like next to the stairs going up to the second floor that just says, "Help us keep our house clean. Please take off your shoes."
Sounds like Core.
He doesn't mean for it
Sure.
to sound passive-aggressive, but it does.
I like to imagine, because you got those little, like, the flower pots, so you have, like, one with some dirt, and then you just have, like, a little sign with it.
Yeah, and there's like,
Yeah.
and he'll like even get like the cute little shoe stands where so you can like put your shoes on there on the little rack, so you're not just leaving them on a pile on the ground.
Perfect. Fantastic. Is there anything else any of you guys would like to do? Anything of
No,
your
I'm
interest?
good. I'm good.
I don't think so.
Cor will just spend the rest of the week tending to his garden, trying to grow some materials for Taylor. Also grow those succulents that Tessa gave him. So maybe I can have because he doesn't really know how to make healing salts, but maybe Taylor can help him out with that.
Okay. Kira, is there anything for you?
Good.
I will teach Akira how to farm.
Yeah. She does
She'll
have
just-
claws, so she's great at ear eating.
She'll just sort of, I imagine that like this whole time you just sort of vibe in the pool while Core's like working nearby and just like absentmindedly chattering to you about how to like take care of different plants, and you're just like half listening, half vibing. She's skatering.
Yeah.
Or Shishi?
Oh, she.
But yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Very well. I think what I will do for now is I will just kind of push on to the back to work.
Oh no.
Unless
Back to work.
you guys want one last day. Which I mean I could always kind of like retro.
True. Might be nice to have maybe next session to get some downtime for Seiza.
Yeah.
'Cause I know Fibble did have things that he actually wanted to do.
So what I'll probably do is I'm going to kind of like I'm gonna jump us ahead. If you guys want to, and then next session before we continue, I will do kind of a downtime part 2 with more stuff like for you guys. And if anything does come up, like oh you know what, something I did want to do, like we could throw that in there as well. But I will kind of get to sort of I'll kind of get us at least started on the syndicate job.
Oh no. Please
Boy.
please don't have us doing something awful right at the start, please.
Time for war
Please.
crimes.
I'm okay with that. I have a fair amount of math to do and like deciding what exactly I want to make. Because there's a lot of options and I need to, pay money for this shit to make it. But I don't need to do that right now, and I don't want to do it right now because I'm tired.
True. I am tired. I should probably brainstorm on
My
something
brain
Cor
doesn't-
would use his money for because he's quite. We have a lot of money now. But I
Do
am.
we?
I mean, Cor has over 3,000 gold. So
Yeah. Kayla also has over
it helps that we didn't have to actually buy our recent level. It was covered. So
That one
Yeah.
was covered
Yeah.
by
David, some
Dude.
potions.
Yeah.
Potions are always good.
Yeah,
Taylor can't
potions
make
are
healing
good.
potions. Because that's a different.
If Taylor
set.
and Cor work together, can we make those healing salves? Because they're not actually healing potions. They just give like 1d3, which is kind of a weird number. 1d3 temporary hit points. I don't know why I wouldn't just give 3 temporary hit points, but
I have no idea why. I've never seen
I know.
D&D use a D3.
a
Yeah.
d3.
that's a Warhammer number. D3.
Yeah,
That's what I have in my notes. Medicinal succulent seeds make a salve that gives 1d3 temporary hit point.
Well, in any case, yeah. So that's what I'll do.
Maybe that's something we can do.
Next Broznov session, and I know it's next week is gonna be work, but I'll see if I can't try and squeeze in some Broznov games a little sooner. Maybe try and do like a once a month meet again.
Yeah, I mean, it'll work next week
Go with that.
because, well, the next few weeks we're going to be a little lighter on D&D because of somebody's going on a trip.
It's just gonna be
Well,
tricky for me because my scheduling.
Work.
is-
That's rough, yeah.
But I'll definitely try. In any case, yeah. So you are you head back to the Hooded Hen.
Oh, really? I thought we knew we weren't working here anymore.
Oh, you were instructed to still go back to the Hooded Hen.
Oh,
You're
okay.
just not
I
working
misunderstood.
for
I
church.
thought he basically told us not to go back there. He's like, "You're not working there anymore."
No,
Don't
you're
go
still,
there.
your contact is there. It's just no longer your usual guy. In fact, when you do arrive, Ugurk greets you again, but he has a more he's definitely got a more discomforted look as he greets you guys. I mean, he's like, it's just who I was expecting. It's you've I guess work's gonna be handled a little differently from now on. You can tell he's nervously cleaning one of his glasses. So pair of glasses.
Yeah. It is.
Well, of all the folks, I wouldn't expect things to turn out in such a way for you. I just hope it.
Believe me, we weren't expecting it either.
Just hopes things work out better for you than the last group of guys that got picked up. But
Oh,
yeah.
good.
I'm sure you'll be fine. I'm hoping you guys will be okay.
I don't suppose
I'm
you can
hoping
give
that
us
too.
any hints about what our job is going to be before we meet the new boss man.
Make an insight check with advantage, Taylor.
Oh, Taylor.
What is my bonus? That is a 16.
16. Alright. To the rest of you, he's kind of talks on. He's like, well, these guys they're fairly decent folk, and it's the one thing I appreciate about them is that they're really good about their money, especially when they're buying a fine drink of you notice, Taylor, that he's eyeing you specifically, and the way he's kind of wording things is in a particular cadence.
Oh,
And it's thieves can't. Yes.
okay. Alright. What's he actually saying?
So to you, he's interpreting that you know, the guy that they have down here is some very high-ranking, is a very high-ranking individual. To what you are told, he says that this guy has a hat. To which sorry, I'm like blanking a lot. But pretty much in the technical terms, there's a few ranks within the syndicate, and the higher up you go, the rank, there's a ranking called the hat. And the hat basically is an individual of high importance. They are sometimes leaders, they are sometimes doers, which are basically, these guys are just like, if something really needs to get done, it's someone, there's a hat is sent. It's pretty much like the guys before a duke is like involved. So they're kind of like a high-ranking lieutenant. He also additionally says that all of his friends are here, and as he's saying that, his eyes kind of very briefly scan around the room, or around the hooded hen, and you kind of take a very brief glance, and he's kind of insinuating that most of the people in here are also syndicate guys.
Oh. Tracks, I guess.
And so he says, I don't know what you did or who you talked to, but apparently they're not very fond of taking no for an answer. So don't do anything to cause an upset.
We don't plan on it. I don't think, anyway. I think we're all well aware of the situation we're in.
Well, if that's everything, don't let me keep you from your clients. And have yourselves a good one.
Of course. You too.
And then he, of course, gestures. Same as always, in the alcoves in the back.
You will.
Cor, meanwhile, is just like really confused because this man is just rambling and not answering his question, and he's like, thank you.
He kind of just went off about talking about how these guys are great drinkers and good customers, and they tend to pay on time.
Ayla will pull Core down to her height so that she can whisper.
Oh,
to him.
that's pretty far down. Oh, you're a tall dwarf. It's fine.
Yeah.
It
I'll
would
explain
probably
later.
be if it was Akira, that would have been a very large jump.
I mean, what? You're
Yeah.
6'7". You're only like 6 inches taller than Cor, which is actually not that much.
I mean, like Akira to Tayla.
Oh, but Tayla's a
Tayla's not
tall dwarf, though, right? Is she like over 5
She's
feet
tall for a dwarf. No,
Yeah.
she's 5 feet. She is 5 feet.
No, still,
She's
that's tall.
for a
Yeah,
dwarf.
that's
Yeah,
that's a
She's
big
pretty
man.
tall. She's quite tall for a
Still
dwarf.
over 1.5 feet taller
Yeah.
than her.
Going down.
Oh yeah, I'll explain later when there's a bit time.
Or just nods. He doesn't understand, but he'll take it. He trusts.
All right then. 1 second.
In her head though, Tayla's also like, assuming none of this gets sorted, like in whatever conversation we're about to have. The dude person could just come out and say it, but If it doesn't get explained, then Taylor will explain it to Core.
Honestly, secretly as a player, I was really hoping that he was gonna give me some hot details so I could know which spells I should prepare for today. Because goodness knows it's rough to be a cleric when you don't know what's about to happen.
Yeah.
If all helps, assume pain.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. Gonna switch out enhance ability for aid.
Like aid.
Me too. I do like it.
Used to not really like consider it, but lately I've really
it's
come
great.
to appreciate just like that's free HP.
It
It's
is.
like
And it makes your healing spells better because you can heal them for more because they have more HP.
Yeah.
Probably not gonna probably use that on Akira though. I don't really think she needs that.
it scales pretty nicely too, all things
That's
considered.
true.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Well, I can
Family
only well, to be fair, if I cast it at 3rd level, I think I can get 4, right?
No.
Or no, it just goes right. It's just the healing that goes up, not the number. of
Yeah,
people.
unfortunately, upcasting just increases the health, not more targets.
I don't really think Akira needs it quite as much.
Yeah, it's only if it's like, oh, is she 1v1ing? Maybe, but then again, if she's 1v1ing, why would you
If
cast
you're one-
aid?
Yeah, if you're 1v1ing, there's better things I can cast on you.
Yeah, there's things I can give Akira too. That would be actually
Like if you're
not bad
literally,
for
if we're
Barbarian.
literally just standing there and watching you fight, there's literally no reason why I can't just cast like guidance or bless on you and just watch you go at it. I don't have resistance, the cantrip, but that would work too.
I could make it into a potion,
Potion of magic missile.
which is actually something
Oh, I'll post it
I
here.
could do that. I don't really.
I'll actually be
I'm
looking at
actually
this.
considering making. What the heck is that?
Cat. It's just
Wow.
a cat.
Okay.
It's just a cat.
Just a cat.
You know, I think nature clerics should get polymorph.
That actually makes sense.
Makes sense.
It does. It makes
Yeah,
it makes sense to me.
yeah. I think I can agree with that.
Oh, the downside is
Uh,
some of my nature cleric spells are cool, but do not work for us. Like Barkskin would be great if we had like a wizard or something, but everyone has at least a 16 AC already, so that doesn't
True.
help.
If we ever fight a rust wait, no one's wearing metal armor.
Oh.
Wait,
You
is
guys
Core
are all
wearing
covered.
metal armor?
No, Core is wearing metal armor. Yes,
Oh.
he has.
Okay, so
Okay,
he
so
if we're
has
fighting a
scale
rust
mail
monster, it
on.
might help with him.
Yeah, that's why
God.
Core has
Actually,
disadvantage
no.
on stealth. I'm wearing scale mail under my like normal clothes.
But yeah,
Honestly, that's
Yeah,
probably
and-
that's probably what I should buy for Core with all this money. I should get a better shield and better armor.
And half this party
Oh.
doesn't even use weapons.
It's true.
And also
Yeah.
do not wear
Also, I
armor.
realized
Stays
that
into Kira.
also. Yeah, and also, what's funny is like Kira does have a weapon. She has a great axe. She never uses it.
But she just hits things.
Well, and the problem with Core is his strength is bad. His dexterity is extremely average. He has a +3, so he's not going to be effective even if he had a finesse.
It's extremely
He's just-
average.
Well, I mean, he has a +3, so
that's pretty
it's
good.
not the it's good, but it's not like he's doing huge damage with his dex attacks.
Get Core
Not
again.
like-
Not bad though.
Nah,
Hey,
he would
yeah,
not.
you wanna
He
learn
would
how to
not.
shoot a gun?
I feel like that's
Barkskin-
literally against his religion.
It might
Barkskin
be.
would also be useless in the realm as well because everybody's AC is at least a 16.
Yeah,
Even the
it's-
wizard.
It's just one of those spells that I always get, but I'll probably never use it. The only time I ever considered it was if for some reason Fawn actually started to take hits. Then I was like, okay, well, I could put it on Fawn.
Hmm.
But that didn't happen, so we were good.
You know what? Maybe Lamine doesn't have to wear armor anymore.
Well, I mean, it's just
do you mean by that?
16. It doesn't. It's not that good, and
Her
I
dex
don't.
isn't that.
I don't think it
Okay.
works if you're wearing armor.
Okay,
What?
if there's an instance
Bark
where
no,
you
can't-
can't
Bark
wear
can
armor,
still
It
work.
does. It does, but like, it doesn't make your AC better if you're wearing armor that
No.
already makes your
It just
AC
sets your
16.
minimum to 16.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if your AC
It
is
could be
17,
useful.
it doesn't up your AC.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything.
yeah,
But it could be handy in some circumstances, I'm sure.
yeah.
Like I
Like
said,
when-
if we
like
had
one
like a
time-
wizard or something.
I'm a
For
wizard,
some reason
but
they
also I'm a
can't use
warlock.
mage armor, so.
Well, or
I have-
anything that reduces armor class.
There are a lot of spells I've kind of noticed that I've seen a vid on it where they kind of talk about. There's a lot of spells where you look at it from a player's perspective, and it's kind of like, why would I ever use this? But from a DM's perspective, they're a lot like they're very
A
substantial.
lot better.
They're much better. And
Yeah.
I think that Barkskin is kind of one of those things where it's like,
But even the good spells, there's certain things like Fireball in the hands of a player is terrifying, but putting it in the DM's hand is equally terrifying.
I mean,
just-
I
Or even
imagine
more.
that's just a
I
party
imagine
starter.
Barkskin is probably good for like a who it's intended for, which is like a low-level druid, right?
Yeah.
You run out of your wild shapes, so and now your AC is shit because you don't really have very good armor proficiency. So,
I
tap
wonder
yourself
if you
with
can
that.
barkskin yourself and you turn into an animal. I wonder if it works that way.
No.
Yeah.
Can you keep a constant?
Shouldn't it?
Because
Yeah?
I play a druid barbarian, I always forget this because I can't do it when I'm raging.
You can
keep
concentrate.
So
Yes,
you
you can
can
concentrate.
Then yes, you could. Because you can keep concentrate. If you can keep concentration in wild shape, then yeah, you could.
There
Give
you go. There's your
yourself AC.
specific need.
Yeah, that would
There it
work.
is.
I mean,
It's a
that
niche.
bear now has
Yeah,
that bear
bear.
now has AC 16.
Angry
Yeah.
wooden bear. Anyways, let's back to the task at hand.
Well, we go to the back
Yep,
Distraction.
go to the back.
nervously.
We got very derailed. I had a family
This
aggro,
is-
but that's okay.
This is what D&D is about.
It's part of the
always
process.
happens.
That's okay.
True.
You head to the back, and at your alcove is there's a small group of these guys are now properly uniformed syndicate guys. You see the very noticeable heavy coats that the syndicate thugs who you came across before were wearing. And at the table of the little alcove sits a familiar man. It's actually one of the guys who was helping you at the little checkpoints. The one who had the crate full of potions for you guys. And he's got his little, he's got a peaked cap, or not really peaked cap, but it's almost like it's like a flat cap that he pushes up, and he looks up at you with kind of a smug, or I guess not smug, but spry grin, and kind of like gestures over. You note beside him, not sitting, but more so standing and waiting, is a Vitten, who's also donning very similar, very heavy armor, like the heavy coat, but for Vitten size. And of course the man sort of like gestures like, don't worry, he won't hurt you. Come on. Duke's been telling me about this gig.
Is there a place that he is gesturing to, or are we sitting down somewhere?
It's so the alcove is like a little, kind of like imagine like the dining table booths. Think of it like that. That's where you
Yeah.
guys have been meeting everybody. It's kind of like a big round dining table booth, but it's been shaped in a round, like in a half circle, or pretty much in a circular shape, so that all the conversation gets kept in at the table. And so he's kind of gesturing you
no.
to join him at the table.
That means that the person who goes in first is going to be sitting close to him, like, because it's a circle, right? So if you scoot all the
Okay,
way
I'll-
in, you're
I'll
just sitting
go
next to him
scooting all
now.
the way in. There you go, Core. I will
Thank you,
swim
because
next to
Cora was not gonna be the one.
Cora can have the end.
Cora will put Seiza at the end. Because
Oh,
she's
that's-
fast, so if we need to run,
Sounds about right.
she should get to go first.
Yeah.
But yeah. In any case, he does sort of like somewhat stand up to reach an arm out to you guys. It's like a little handshake welcome. It's like, we never got ourselves acquainted back there. You can call me Razor.
A curiousness the arm.
Yeah, Cora will hesitantly shake his hand a little stiffly but politely.
Relax. I'm not as unhinged as the boss.
Or just looks at the really large guy right there and then like, okay. Good morning. I am Core. These are my associates, though I'm sure you know that already.
Of course. We met back at the checkpoint, of course. You guys
That's
did
true,
a
but
hell
we-
of a job.
We didn't exactly exchange pleasantries, so.
That's
Wasn't really time for that.
You're right, we were on a deadline after all.
Well, Duke's
A
picked out a
dead-
polite bunch, I'll tell you that. Huh. Well,
Core just sort of has this look on his face like he's feeling like he's just like walking to the gallows, basically. Like, I'm going to die.
and Razor will pull out a cigar and kind of lights it up, and then he, takes a quick puff of it, and then kind of offers it to you guys each. Like, would you like?
Core just makes a face. No, thank you. I don't.
Kira also
partake.
makes a face.
I don't partake.
Gestures to Taylor.
Oh, no. Appreciate it, but no, I do not.
Fair enough. Well, I suppose, maybe we should break the ice a little. I know, meeting the boss can be a real scare for a lot of the newcomers, but trust me, once you get settled in, it'll be smooth sailing. You guys will be making big time money. Especially for such distinguished workers, too. I'm almost jealous.
Why? Exactly?
Well,
Curious as to why.
boss is a fickle man, and hard to impress too. I mean, sure, you can get him in a good mood once in a while with with a little bit of damage, and that's easy enough. But few people can really get that shine in his eye for him. And well, when you got to go and have that little one-on-one with you guys up at the wall, well, I can definitely tell that man was over the hills for you guys.
I'll take it, I suppose.
Well, I suppose that's enough of talking about the old boss. I mean, he ain't here, so let's not fret too much. You know what they say? Speak of the devil too much, he might just show up.
He might.
Core
we are
immediately
here.
looks at the door like, is he here?
He starts.
And we
Razor
are
starts
here.
laughing. It's like, you are way too tense. You're fine. You're fine. Nah, it's just me and my friends, and nothing to worry about. But business is business, and boss plans to earn his keep with you lot.
Business is why we're here.
Yep. You've done some mighty fine work, and after your last little bit, definitely have paid greatly. And, well, we gotta keep this gravy train rolling, of course. Now, I'm sure you're probably more than curious, at least a little bit, maybe a teensy bit, as to why, well, a big old syndicate might be looking to ask for 4 up-and-comers like yourselves to help out. And no, this ain't a recruitment gig. guys are, as far as anyone's concerned, you might be on Syndicate payroll, but you're not Syndicate guys. Just so that we're clear on that.
Curious, but alright.
Actually, I don't think it would be enough for this guy to notice, but I feel like I think it's Taylor and Caesar who are sitting right next to Core actually feel him relax like the teeniest tiny bit.
Yeah.
Because that's basically like being told by a devil, oh yeah, I don't own your soul. We were just contracting it out for a few days.
We just call it on the payroll, but not officially a part of the group.
Then you're a temp worker.
You're a
Yippee!
temp. You're a freelance. Actually, I like that word, freelance. That's what we'll call you.
It is accurate.
You see, the Syndicate's, well, we got a big name for ourselves in this city. And with a big name, comes big waves. We so much as sneeze the wrong way, and we got Tetsuguard and the other gangs crawling all over us. And, well, we're not dumb enough to know that anything we do upsets the ecosystem, as it would be. And, well, that's where you come in, of course. You're not Syndicate guys. Therefore, whatever you guys go and do won't cause an upset.
Pretty easy to understand.
Ah, I knew you'd catch on. Yep, kind of an irony, ain't it? For all we're worth, we can't do much, at least at this crux in time. But don't worry, I'm sure in due time things will be changing for the better. And of course, don't worry as well. We're not like those scumbags at the Brood who, you know, once they're done with ya, they and he kind of like makes the neck like the finger across his neck like gesture.
I certainly hope not.
Yep. As long as you play ball with the boss, you guys will be riding fine, high and mighty. And don't worry about anything with the other big gangs, of course. You ain't with us, but we can at least afford at least a few little things with that. So don't worry about any of the other thugs coming your way. Well, as long as you don't do anything stupid with them. Can't promise you if you go kicking a hornet's nest that we'll be coming to cover your ass.
I
But-
don't think any of us are planning on doing that.
Good. Well, I'm glad we've gotten these things sorted. Other than that, we won't be bothering you much. I know the boss likes to make a little flaunt of what he knows, but truth be told, we don't really want to expend the efforts to be coming after you for every little thing. I mean, it's not like you guys have anything really of that important value to us. But I'm digressing. In any case, I suppose I should start off with a little question. What do you know about your museums?
What?
They're a place old things are stored at.
Why do people keep old things? I mean, I guess if you're using them.
Oh, it's just for display, it's not for using.
Why would you do that?
Memory,
For-
history keeping.
Knowledge purposes? Learning?
Education, enlightenment of the mind, to understand where we came from, what we've done, what we can be, what we can become. It's beautiful, really.
I can only assume that a museum is involved to some capacity.
Bingo. And then with that, he says, "There's a new display at it's Xanian's Museum of Wonders." And well, good old Xanian, do. And I think that new little display will make the perfect payment. And with that, he slides a document to you guys.
Okay. Definitely read. This actually seems fairly up Kayla's alley.
Yeah.
Like, oh, wow. Thief actually gets to steal something.
The thief gets to steal?
Yep, it's
Holy
a heist.
shit.
Stealing.
And with that, the document has like a little string that's like, you undo this little string to unfasten it. And
Yeah.
most of the documents is just a kind of a basic, and I mean like basic layouts. And I don't mean like it's more like the external layout of Zenian's museum, the address, the location, as well as the news report of like the new item of wonders, and it's the a curio added to the collections. It's the ruby thorn crown, and there is a picture of it. And as you realize, you've seen this crown before.
Yeah, we have seen this crown before.
Wait.
It was session 1.
Yeah, this was literally the crown we saw inside that box we were supposed to get back. We stole this before, and now these fuckers are asking us to steal it again.
God.
Also curious because I thought those mages took it, and now it's back.
Well, they disposed of it in a museum. More secure place than a museum, right?
No.
Oh,
I
that's
evolved
just
or
deja vu
something.
for us. Like,
I remember now.
Yep.
It was our first job.
Your
Yeah.
first job was well, it
We're all
wasn't so
going-
much as stealing it as more like taking it back from someone else's heist.
True. But I mean, technically, we did steal it from someone who stole it.
True.
And now we're stealing it back.
Again.
You're stealing it
Again.
again.
Really,
now it's actually theft.
the line of ownership on this item is extremely suspicious.
Yeah.
I know, right? It's got a silly habit of changing hands.
They're just kind of size. How many times are we gonna steal
Man.
this thing?
history really is a circle, isn't it?
Yeah.
How ironic, all of this.
Here we go again.
Here we're all having
Again.
about the
Cor-
same reaction.
Corey's
like,
trying-
Oh, okay, babe.
Corey's trying his best to have a poker face. Which I think it's almost effective because he genuinely is so uncomfortable and has been so uncomfortable this whole time that like him being confused and like shocked by this just makes him look uncomfortable. He's
No.
uncomfortable.
It's
Same as he's been this whole time.
the level of discomfort makes it indeterminate on whether you are familiar with this object or not.
Or just really not comfortable in this situation. And the answer is both, but they can't tell.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, Taylor
well,
can't
time
actually
to
keep
steal
a
it
poker
back.
face. So I think she can't help but have a reaction, but it reads, her surprise will read more as like interest.
Ooh, shiny.
I
Like,
Shiny.
Yeah.
ooh, shiny.
Kieran's more
suppose. There's
like
a bit of
just
that, but also
head.
like,
Oh yeah.
Looked at it like, oh, well.
But I
we're doing
mean,
this again.
Dragonborns are naturally, I feel like, very deadpan. Just they don't express themselves in the same way that other faces do, so it's
It's true.
B?
so what's
Alright.
what's the timeline on this job then?
Well, boss gave you a week and a half rest time. Why not make it another week and a half?
that should be perfectly doable.
Cool. Meeting same time, same place?
Yes, or we'll contact you if that changes. Because if this is a hot item, we may not want to come back here.
Don't worry about it. We'll know if things get troublesome. And don't worry about contacting us
Hopefully not.
either. If anything, we'll contact you.
If everything works out, there shouldn't be any problems, and we should be able to meet back at the established time.
Ah, beautiful. Then business is concluded then. Any questions?
Taylor might, but I can't think of any right now.
Any
Like, she reasonably would,
professional
but-
suggestions from a veteran to a group of newcomers
On what?
on the job? How would you do it?
Well,
Taylor's
if I-
already looking at the schematics, by the way.
If I were you, I would definitely not want to wait longer past that time.
I see. So don't fail the deadline.
Then there might be some problems. But as far as we know, as far as we're concerned, we're square.
That was so unhelpful.
Yeah.
Even Core is like, oh great. I've worked a job before. I know the importance of keeping a deadline. Okay. Well, thank you.
Very serious though. Do not take too long. The boss is well, he's been putting on a good show and a great mood, mostly because of the things you've been doing, but really his temper is very, very quick to get, and nothing irks him more than delays.
I understand.
And,
Core looks like he very much too agonizingly understands because he looks terrified. Believe me, Core understands what this man is implying, and he doesn't like it.
As for that, if I can give you anything regarding this, well, I know you lot from your fighting. I suppose you could always just muscle your way in there and try and fight off the cops, but I wouldn't pick a fight with a Tetsu guard, really.
I do hope that our performance hasn't really set any kind of standard for us, because I don't think most of us, well, most of us
Yeah.
aren't really too interested in actually fighting.
Yeah, plus they don't taste really good.
I don't think we really want a repeat performance.
No,
No.
I don't want that kind of fighting to be a habit.
Well,
This is much more palatable to me.
I'm sure the boss is more than fine with however you get your jobs done, and I think he's looking more to seeing what you're capable of doing outside of a fight.
Do you know what sort of defenses they already have, magical or otherwise?
Afraid not, but I know one thing for sure. Zanian's place is, well, it ain't Blackrock, but, it's definitely up there.
Very well. It just means
Oh,
well, more emphasis on preparation, which I do not mind.
I do remember hearing one guy saying, though, that he does have some museum pieces act as sentries for the place inside. So I suppose that's one little thing for you.
That is good to know.
Yep. Never been to the museum myself. Not really much of a history guy, unfortunately. But I'm sure you could do a little research. And got, what, 3 Broznov days to knock this out?
It's quite some time.
Every single time, like, Broznov Day and Night is mentioned, you see this look of confusion cross over Core's face as he tries to mentally calculate how many in normal days that is. Because he always is confused about time. He's just like,
2.5 days.
3 Broznov, 1 week. Core has like a really good mind for like traveling and time and stuff when it's normal outside of Broznov.
That being in Broznov is definitely a
It throws him off. Even after
challenge
like
for
a couple
sure.
of years, it throws him off. Throw him out into the middle of the forest, and he could navigate you so well. In the city, he doesn't know where he's going.
Any other questions?
No.
Nothing that comes to mind right now, but I'm tired, so.
Very well.
If
I can
something does
always-
come to mind that Taylor would definitely ask because
I will.
she is
I'll
not tired.
pull a pin. I'll put a pin on this and say if there are any prior questions that you would like to have asked, you know, just bring them up prior to the game, and
Yeah,
because we're gonna revisit all this,
Yeah.
when we have
for sure.
both the downtime and the encounter. But I think this is a good stopping point here.
Ooh.
And yeah, good stuff.
Yeah,
So
exciting.
next time, next time there will be a heist.
Taylor is genuinely happy.
Yippee!
It's like, oh my god, she was legitimately worried that they'd have to kill more people, but now it's like, oh, this is actually like
Yeah, I mean,
my skill set.
there's
This
a
is-
part of Core that's a little
this is my
relieved.
skill set.
He doesn't exactly approve of stealing, but one, it helps that this is already an item of very dubious, like, ownership. Not really, doesn't totally feel bad about stealing it from someone who probably stole it in the first place. And two, he was really worried that, yeah, straight up they were just gonna ask us to murder a bunch of people, and maybe people who didn't really deserve it.
Nope.
So
in
he's a
this-
little bit like, you know what, this isn't that bad. It could be way worse.
For this particular instance, all you need to know is no one has to die unless you need them to. In fact,
Great.
that's the one thing he kind of puts out. It's just like, you don't have to kill anyone for this job. Hell, it'll be easier if you don't.
Yeah, preferably no deaths.
And
That's our
But that puts
aren't
a
good.
lot of strain on me, Kel, the player, as the only caster, because you know what comes in really clutch if you don't want to kill anyone, but you gotta do a heist? Magic spells!
Yeah, and that's are not good for a professional smuggler and thief. If you're killing people as part of your job, something has gone really wrong.
Yeah. Ooh. We may have to well, we're gonna have to figure out something for Core, because he has bad stealth.
Time to chalk up
Yeah.
on your investigation skills to prepare.
Well,
for the
I mean,
heist.
I guess what we do is, if we really want to go in
Yeah.
on we're not fighting at all, Core just takes his armor off. Because I
Yeah,
don't have
and don't you
disadvantage.
worry. I was already planning on making some utility. Well, a lot of my alchemy stuff is utility and, not actually blowing things up.
You know what would be great? Can you make a pass without a trace potion? Because
I can.
I
That
can't
was
make
actually
that.
on my list. That is one of the things I was gonna make.
That is
I was
not a
gonna make a
spell
pass
I'm
without
able
trace.
to take, so would
That
be
is a
great.
spell that would be useful for all of us.
It would
Yeah.
be.
For if
That
you're
is-
a
It is already
But
it is already on my list of potions I wanted to make.
Yeah,
So-
believe me, I'm going up and down the cleric spell list here, like trying to figure out like what would be good. Because if we're gonna go all in, I'm gonna dump a bunch of my normal spells and take other stuff. So don't die.
Yeah, I mean a lot of the other ones too. Invisibility, I was gonna make another one of those.
Dispel magic. Probably
detect
gonna
magic.
be good if there's like
That
those
might be useful.
sentries walking around. We just dispel
Dispel
the
magic,
enchantments on them.
yeah.
So that's a third level I can only
might-
use a couple times.
I'm gonna go ahead and do the sign off, and we can debrief.
Yeah, go for it. We're just blabbering.
No worries.
Fury crafting for.
We'll meet up again, hopefully sometime soon, and we'll carry on with the next step on this heist. Maybe even do the heist as well.
Yippee!
Yippee! Alrighty. Well, thank you so much for checking out the stream or the VOD or the video, and have yourselves a great night. See ya.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Akira looking at him, being like, "Wait, I can be good for something out of combat."
You might have need
You
for your
can be.
strength.
Oh my god.